And I think it's time to roll the dramatic music.
What?
It's thrilling.
Okay, welcome to the podcast. It's the Order of the Triad, episode 9. And guess what, folks? We already have a title. It's going to be called Episode 9 and 3/4.
Ha!
Huh?
I saw what you did there.
Yeah? You got it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're on it. I think we're onto it.
Nice.
So that's the title. That's the first time we've ever had a title before making the podcast. So, rock on. It's magic, is what it is.
Yeah.
And very appropriate because today's episode is nothing but Harry Potter.
All Potter, all the
All the
time.
time. There's going to be Hagrid action going on, Dumbledore action, like
Yeah.
Draco on Malfoy action.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Was that
it's getting crazy.
Draco on himself?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Come on, Draco. Does he
Hell.
love anyone else but himself?
That's
Yeah.
true. You know, he
No,
just
so-
looks in the mirror and
Yeah,
smacks
he's just
it.
like, oh, yeah, Draco. So welcome to the show. And very happy to have you because I think we'll be introducing, there's now not 3 people in this room, but there is a 4th person. And we will surprise you by letting them do their story, and you will then find out if they are in fact male or female.
Wow.
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 Mysterious, yeah?
Laying on the mystery early.
I got nothing else, man. We already gave away the title.
It's Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
No, that would be red.
All
Turn
right,
to
so...
page 300.
But to do that, we have to kind of... But to do that, we have to introduce each other, and I think, or ourselves, anyways. I don't want anyone introducing me because it's going to be really hurtful or something. So I'll start off. I am Nathan.
Hi.
Welcome. Hi. How you doing? Hello. And my wacky little Harry Potter fact is that it was a good 6 months of production work I was doing. That was on different little shoots for students shoots, and I was bored and I was carving wands. I would grab a wood. Grab a piece of stick I found somewhere. I had a razor with me because it was for, cutting like open boxes or whatever. And I would just whittle me a wand, which sounds kind of...
Yeah, whittling your wand.
Yeah,
You
actually.
can do that at work.
I'll accept it. That's what it sounds like. That's what it was. It was very phallic. I mean, wands are very phallic. So there you go. That's what I did. I would be bored, sitting there, watching a car, making sure the car wasn't taken.
Sure.
And that would be my job. So I whittled a wand.
Nice.
I bet you did.
And boy, was it whittled.
Did you reach full reducto?
I mean, full Patronus. Full Patronus came out. I'll tell you that.
That is a happy thought.
So
That's
happy
right. For Harry Potter, we have our extremely rated R app. As it should be.
All the children accidentally on the show right now going like, Harry Potter show!
They're talking about Harry Potter!
What are they talking about? Spanking to the mirror. I don't understand.
Mother, what does
Malfoy,
Is that
no!
a spell?
Mother, what does he mean by the wand spanking?
I don't understand.
Oh, he's casting a spell already.
He's like, it's a terrible mother. Oh, yeah. Casting spell already.
She's like,
Go back to...
Let's keep listening.
I want to
I'm
listen
doing
now. I
dishes.
want to listen in.
hi, I'm Justin.
Hi, Justin.
It's a really small Harry Potter thing, but I have a, compared to Nate's
He's just
wand.
really just... yeah.
A really
you all
small Harry
right
Potter
into
thing
that.
compared
Yeah.
to Nate's wand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, I have a giant hatred towards the Bernie Bott's beans. A giant
Understandable.
hatred.
You and Dumbledore.
Because it's a thing in high school. Here's the thing. Yes, it's cute. It's cool that they made them. Congrats. I thought it was neat. But you have the a-hole idiot people in high school who would like, you want a bean? And then you bite into it, and it's like, it's the booger one. And I wanted to punch everyone. It's like, after the 40th time, I get it. Yeah, I ate the booger one. That's hilarious. And I didn't fall for it every time, but it's like they want me to do it. It's like, see, it's like, I've eaten this. Like, stop. Okay, that's the salt and pepper one. Listen, stop. Let it go.
Here's the one that tastes like grass. Like,
That's-
No.
Can I tell you a weird thing? This isn't my Harry Potter fact, but it's a weird one. I kind of like the grass one.
Really?
I can't explain it. I know it's weird.
Interesting.
I do. I like it.
Wow.
I'm just hopefully,
There's a good look over there.
It's so fresh. It's so clean. Clean.
maybe hopefully a listener will just give you a big bag of that.
You like Bernie Butter's beans.
Because it reminds me of my childhood. Because you like
You
smell
ate
like
grass when you were a child?
Well, sometimes. Just when I was grazing. When I was
You were
with the pastor.
grazing?
No. No,
When
like,
you were-
you play tag and you fall in the grass and you get grass and it smells like grass.
And then your brothers make you act like a cow and...
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
They cut slices off of me and make burgers. No, is that not? That's
No,
weird.
that's not good.
That
That's not
weird?
good. You might want to look into that.
It's a lot.
I think Bill's probably messing with you.
Probably.
He was stabbing you if he was taking pieces of you
Yeah.
out.
Well, luckily I have super regeneration.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, that's right on.
It's fine.
Sweet.
It's creepy, but it's fine.
That's weird, but that's cool.
So I'm Bobby.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. And as you all know, I've been known to engage in a little throwing of the dice. But back in the day, and occasionally I've been known to engage in bouts of online, like the role-playing chat rooms and stuff, which sounds sexual, but not sexual. But I was once in a Harry Potter roleplay where I was Lupin. Yeah.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I was the best Lupin ever.
Remus Lupin?
Remus Lupin.
Okay,
Professor.
I wasn't sure you were Lupin the
Ex-professor.
Third.
No, not Lupin the Third. Remus Lupin the werewolf.
There we go.
Spoiler alert, sorry.
Nice. Oh no, he's a
If you haven't
werewolf?
seen Prisoner of Azkaban.
Wait,
or you can see his
Lupin?
fucking name is Lupin.
Lupin.
Remus Lupin. Remus,
Remus.
which is Ramus and Remus,
Ramus.
who were raised by wolves, and then Lupin. Come on, J.K. Rowling. Like, do you think we all
She was
got
laying on-
lobotomies before we read the book?
She was laying on thick.
Yeah.
That was really...
Like, Remus Wolfie Lupin, the wolf.
The wolf.
Wolfie.
Wolfie.
Remus Bow Wow Lupin.
Remus
Lycanthrope.
Were Lupin.
Lord Lycanthrope.
He's a wolf. That's his character.
Seriously, it's a wolf.
Seriously, he's a wolf.
Lord Wolfington.
All right.
And for the fourth person...
Hi everyone. My name is Gina.
Hi, Gina.
Hi,
Me llamo Gina.
Me llamo Gina. So my little Potter story was I actually had a huge spoiler in one of my college classes by this college professor that used to be my favorite, and now I hate her because she did that to me. And
that's right.
and I won't say who she is because she's a great
That's
teacher,
fine.
you know. But I was working full time and going to school at night, which is always fun. So I had the last Harry Potter, but I can't get through it in 3 days
You're busy
like
working.
everyone else, you know. And so like I was actually not even going out as much socially so that I wouldn't hear anything. And then we had some activity where we had to pick characters from a book that we felt represented us, and she was like, "Oh, and everyone's gonna pick Ginny Weasley because they all want to marry Harry Potter." And this is like 3 weeks after the book came out. Like, it wasn't very long, and I was like, "What are you doing? Oh no!" Like, I was so upset.
I thought she spoiled something worse for you.
No,
I thought she spoiled a death. I remember you saying that.
no, that was another student.
Oh.
That we were talking, because she said that, and they were talking about it at break, and they're like, "Oh yeah, can you believe this person died?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I
What is
have
the
to leave
mascot
this
of your
class."
school? The spoilers?
I guess.
They just coming in there like, I got something you don't want to know about. Blah, blah, blah.
Cal State Fullerton fuckers.
Well, it's a bunch of English majors, so they've all read
Oh,
it,
okay.
and I shouldn't have just gone to that class.
It doesn't give them the right to like spoil like major books.
Yeah.
No.
That's pretty popular at
At
that
least,
point. Yeah.
at least put up the, hey, all of you, who's read all the book?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, you haven't? All right, so we're going to change our entire...
like right.
We can spoil-
Especially you think
Book
English
six.
majors would know the value
Yeah.
of spoilers.
Right.
You know?
I think we're just, you're in your element, and everyone's all excited, and everyone's
Right.
just as big a bookworm as you. So like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, this and this and that." Like, it was very...
Oh God. So, hi Gina, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Welcome.
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
No problem.
How are you? Who do you know here?
Well, I know both Justin and Nate, but I guess I would be most affiliated with Bobby because we are engaged.
That's true.
So
That's so cute.
yeah,
Super engaged.
we're the Uber engaged.
Isn't it?
This is
Yeah.
true.
They're gonna get married so hard. It's not even ready, man. It's gonna be.
We're gonna crack some pews.
Yeah.
Kick-ass marriage ever.
Bam!
That was
Lightning
awesome.
Bolt. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
Fuck yeah.
Shockwave.
You've been married. I'm like, whoa! It's like 3 people in the room.
We can't have anyone over
out of their
80
ears.
because they'll just
Yeah,
disintegrate.
they'll just die.
It'll look like a Dragon Ball E, like a Dragon Ball Z.
If you're sitting in the
episode.
front,
That'd be
make sure
amazing.
you want to see the last thing in your world is something beautiful because you're dead after this. Married, dead. First row.
Yeah, just
Don't
gone.
make sure your parents push.
Yeah, they're gonna be in the
put the
fifth row.
cousins you don't like right
Yeah.
now.
People are gonna
You
be like,
will
"Why is
get
your parents
wet."
in the first row?"
Yeah, you'll see.
It's like I know I'm already invited, but please God,
I've never seen
I
a
want some
flamethrower
good
at a
seats
wedding
for this
before.
wedding. Sounds
Well, that's because if
amazing.
you're in the front row, you're just gonna be disintegrated.
Yeah, I want to
You-
be like the middle,
Maybe in
No.
the third row, you gotta wear plastic because of the blood splatter.
Yeah.
Right.
From the first
Like
row.
a
I want a
Gallagher-
good
like a
view
Gallagher
of
show.
people getting disintegrated, but
The lucky one, but the lucky ones are in the 4th row where they get the quickening.
That's true. They do.
So they get electrocuted, but they get more powerful.
Oh, can I get the fourth one?
And everyone wants the 4th one.
I have inside me blood of cheese. Yeah, yeah.
Now I really want the wedding to look like this.
That's pretty
Can I
rad.
draw that for
Pretty
your
rad.
wedding? Like you guys getting the quickening?
The shockwave and lightning. And
He got
I feel like
Gandalf being
we've
the one
trumped up
marrying
the
you.
expectations of our guests.
Gandalf marrying you. He's like, you shall not be unmarried.
You shall not divorce.
Shall not divorce. That's probably the better way to say it. That's why she's an English major.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
words.
the words.
You and words.
Words.
So
There
anyway,
we go.
it's the Potter episode.
The
It
Potter
is,
episode.
not the Highlander episode.
Not the
Harry Potter.
No, Harry Potter and Highlander would be a fun mix.
Yeah.
We'll try that
I
out.
would read the shit out of that.
Yeah,
That'd
little,
be pretty
little
cool.
Sectum Sempra, cut someone's head off from long
Hell
range.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Doug, quick.
So,
Very good.
oh right, so lots going down this year. This is the last year for any Potter fan to get anything really be really excited. Like
Yeah,
extreme.
that was it.
Yeah.
That was your entire. You're like, I wait for nothing else, then you're done.
Then you're
When the
done.
credits
Yeah.
rolled in the 7th movie, you should have just committed seppuku. and-
We're gonna lose 17% of the population just in the
Yeah.
next
It's gonna be
week or
really
so.
dark. The Potter dark.
Yeah, like the last couple books dark.
Yeah.
I actually felt that way though because well, not like suicidal, but let me revise.
Counselor.
We're getting married, babe.
But no,
Make sure this is good.
Because I started them at a young age, and so doing the calculations, like half of my life I've been waiting for the book or the movie or there's some new exciting thing, and I was
Right.
like, oh,
Yeah, that's true. That has
movie.
That's been a chunk of our lives now.
At
Yeah.
least you didn't have the Star Wars experience where you waited half your life and then
Pre-
Oh
Like your
God,
life.
I
then
know.
those movies came out. But
Yeah.
those movies.
There's
Those that shall not be named.
Oh, and that's just the beginning of the wonderful Harry Potter jokes.
Wonderful.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
I did realize though, like the release of part 2, Deathly Hallows this year if it was released in November, it would have been the 10 years since
Oh, wow.
since Sorcerer's
Oh.
Stone release, theatrical release.
Oh, the first movie?
Yeah, the first movie. So I'm like, oh, that seemed like I'm pretty sure that was something they were thinking about. At the
Yeah.
same time, like that is kind of crazy. That's a decade.
That's just the movie.
That's just the movies.
Yeah.
A decade of the movies. That's
Yeah.
kind of amazing.
That's one of the very few
amazing.
movies they kind of already knew that they would be invested for that long.
Yeah.
Like, you got those kid actors. You got
Wait, they
Daniel
8
Radcliffe.
movies with the same actors.
Yeah.
When does that ever happen?
No, it's like the only reason not all of them are there because one of them sadly died.
Then he died.
Yeah, one of them died, and that one guy went to jail for selling weed.
Right.
Crab or Goyle.
Oh, who's that one?
Crab or
Crab.
Goyle? One of because his two fat sidekicks.
Draco Malfoy's
Malfoy.
sidekicks.
Right.
You know,
That
and
feels
one
like
of
art
them-
imitating life.
Yeah, exactly. and one of them-
Crab is the
I-
one who
yeah.
went to.
Went to jail, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the short, fat one.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
why he wasn't in the
Oh,
last
that's
two
the one that
movies. And they replaced him with Blaze Zabini, the character he was the like sort of tall, thin black guy.
Yeah.
And because he was in jail for like not selling weed, for like growing a field of weed, like
Really?
Wow.
felony weed production. Yeah.
In freaking England?
Yeah,
Where
in
you
England.
gonna find that much space? It's not like, that looks like weed over there.
You can't grow anything there.
What?
Lives
That's
in the
crazy.
countryside. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it was a
That's insane.
felony level. Like, he's like, this Harry Potter thing's gonna. Hey, all of you can't be Daniel Radcliffe, right? Someone's gotta have a future after this.
So do you think you did well in herbology?
Very good.
Nice.
Number 2.
You can thank
Excellent.
Professor Sprout for that one.
Thanks, Professor Sprout.
So yeah, but no, that's kind of amazing about the length of the movies in that regard. But let's talk about the books.
Yes.
Before that,
Yes.
it's like when did you guys discover it?
I was 11 or 12, and
You were like the demographic.
I really was, and I was like 11 or 12, total bookworm, totally into fantasy stories and magic, and we were. I remember my mom had a very good parenting tactic because that's when the Game Boys were prevalent.
The
And
Game Boys.
The
You
Game
sound
Boys.
80 years old.
I mean, no, but like.
when the Game Boys were out.
But everyone had them at school, and I would go up to her and I'm like, oh, I want this, and she'd be like, how about a book? And then she'd take me to Barnes and Noble or Borders, which is sadly gone.
Would you like to play a Mario Brother?
But yeah,
They had that Nintendo's.
but instead of buying me video games, she would buy me a book. And I remember like I hadn't heard of Harry Potter at all. I just kind of grabbed it because I was looking around, and then it became this. Around the time I was reading the second book, it became huge. It just
Right.
Yeah.
blew up, and I was like, oh, hey, look at that! I'm on the second book already.
You always into fantasy books when you were growing up?
Huh?
You always into the fantasy books growing up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. We're all. I mean, yeah, I remember being kind of similar to that, that's for sure.
This world is boring. Fancy books.
It is.
It's like half of my bookshelf that's to my back is probably fantasy. It's like Dragonlance, Forgotten Realms. Fucking...
Yeah, this world is either boring or horribly scary.
Yeah.
It feels like being a soldier. Like you're bored out of your mind, or you're about to like go, oh my god, no.
Yeah, it's bored
really,
or horrifying.
That's how this world doesn't have much of a balance point in there.
Yeah.
But
So you got
boring
these
and
nice
horrifying,
books.
much like the prequel trilogy of Star Wars. Sorry, had to bring it back.
I had to bring it back.
Oh,
I thought
God.
those were movies that would
The
should
prequel
not be named.
that we will not be named?
Yes,
Okay.
the Dark Lord.
Phantom
The Dark
Menace.
Lord.
Of prequel.
How about you guys?
I was actually like, I wasn't in the target demographic. Like Gina was like 11 years old and like ready to receive her letter from Hogwarts, you know. Whereas I was like a 16-year-old male who was like, you know, when you're 16.
Yeah.
I mean, even I was fantasy and stuff, but it was like,
You're
here's
like,
this kid's book.
Swords fantasy.
You know, so you're
chopping
like,
someone
totally.
up, man.
Yeah, there's
Well, I think
armies and shit.
I had to
Yeah.
like sell it, you know, sell
Actually,
it big
well,
to you.
You helped,
Yeah.
but it was actually, I remember who physically gave me the book and would not shut up about it was my friend Michelle. 'Cause she
Oh,
was
yeah,
always
yeah.
reading them, and she had the hardbacks, and she was a friend of mine, and she's kind of nerdy too, and she was always like, "Fucking, you have to read this book, you have to read," and Gina would push it,
Yeah.
because we were just friends at the time.
Right.
And but Michelle like came one day, and I had seen the first movie because it was really popular, and my dad wanted to see it, and I
Oh,
liked it.
so the movie had already come out.
Yeah, the first movie had
Oh,
come.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I saw the first movie. I was like, it's all right. It's a cool kids movie because I can appreciate a kids movie.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, and my friend's like, you got to read it because I think by then Goblet of Fire had come out already, but that was it. So the fourth book had come out.
Right.
And she's like, no, it gets a lot darker and it becomes really cool. You know, just you'll like it. Like it's kind of kid, but you'll like it. And so I finally was like, fine, I'll fucking read it because the first one's fairly short.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And I punched through it. I really liked it. You know, I was like, this will be a fun sort of distraction.
Sure.
And then I finished it, and I just sort of like sat on it, and my brain kept thinking about it, and like because I read it so quickly, even though it was short, and I'm a fast reader, but I read it in like a day, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Jesus, you know, and I just kept thinking about it, and I came to her like the next day, or maybe the day after. I was like, do you have a second book? and you could see her just being like,
It begins.
yeah, totally. And so I burned.
Infected another.
I actually still have her first 4 books in hardback, and I never gave them back to her.
Babe.
Oh.
Sorry, Michelle.
Wow.
It wasn't on purpose. It was just one of those like, you know, oh yeah, I'll bring it back to, you know. I'm sure we all have each other's shit. It's one of
Yes.
those where
Yeah.
I
you're
got
like,
like a Frisco County Junior box set for like 3 years.
For
I keep
3 years.
meaning to bring it back.
It's okay. It wasn't you like, yes, I'm taking it. It's just like, it's not something you think, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
today when I wake up, I'm gonna bring some shit back to people. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should return a lot of the objects that I have in my possession.
I had like
that are
3
not
year
mine.
things I just realized, like of that, your Dark Tower,
Yeah.
and like your Lady in the Water. I'm sorry. I
Oh, it's starting to pile up.
You
Right,
have
no one to
Lady in the
stop.
Water?
Yeah, I should give that
That's
back to
one of
you.
my favorite movies. Okay, no, that's fine. As long as I know it's safe.
Yeah.
But I was like
I'm
looking
keeping,
for
you
it
know
the
me, I'll
other.
keep it in good hands. Yeah.
I was like looking for it the other day. I was like, where the hell is this movie?
I'm gonna say I have like maybe like 10 different things of Ben's. Like I have Ben's 2 DVD
Yeah, but
sets.
our friend Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of Dead
Yeah.
Like Me.
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
God, what else do I have? I have like a bunch of his movies. I have a bunch of his books. Like I'm just a dick. Like he should not let me borrow stuff anymore. Nobody, you know, as a note to anyone, never let me borrow anything.
Neither a borrower nor
Not unless you got
I
at
feel,
least something.
you feel bad. I just mentioned I had a box set of yours for 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Not unless you
I
have
actually-
something of a loan shark mentality. Where's
I
your
literally,
stuff, man?
I just pulled it out just to remind us of the Force One stuff. Like, no, you're gonna watch most of this today, and I still did it.
It's just hard.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of episodes you gotta go through, or whatever it is, like
Yeah.
your book or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, that being said,
That
you
being
have
said.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was my introduction to the Harry Potter universe.
Cool. Oh, me. Okay. Let's see.
Yes, you.
So the movie came out in 2001, right?
Right.
And then the book came out in 1999.
I have no idea.
I'm like
Sure,
losing
why
track.
not?
I can't remember. What,
Yes.
Let me rotate over to Wikipedia.
Yeah, actually, that'd be cool. So, in the meantime, I'm pretty sure when I read the first Harry Potter, the second one had already been out. Like, it was in that order, I think. And I remember just kind of, it was like, I was the kid that would go to the library, and I would just look wherever that looked interesting. Like, whatever section I had something I wanted to see, I'd check out the mythology section. I'd go all around the
Totally,
whole
yeah.
library, whatever. But I was on the cusp of being kind of like, young adult. I don't know. I'm pretty grown up. I just read Lord of the Rings.
of a man.
I'm kind of a man. I kind of read Lord of the
This is
Rings.
beneath
I'm
me.
kind of a big deal.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if I can go in there and read this thing, but I remember I'd heard whispers of the side of Harry Potter just being really, really good, really well written. And I'm like, okay, well, I like wizards, I like magic, okay, I'll give it a shot. So,
I like whittling wands.
I like whittling wands when I'm bored, just whittling my wand, whittling it right down to the nub. And
Wait, are we talking about masturbation now?
We're talking about dicks. Dicks.
Come on,
All right.
give it the times here.
Sorry.
So
We're always talking about dicks.
always.
Why does it always come back to that?
It's always a B plot. It's always so basically I sat there and I read the back and I was like, okay, it's interesting enough, and why not? I've heard some good stuff. The librarian kind of recommended it, and I'm like, she wouldn't really read something like this. And
Was she a hot librarian?
No.
They never are.
They never
They never are.
Yeah, they're never the
They're
hot
always
one.
like 58.
Yeah.
And not attractive.
Yeah, that's
I'm
when they're
sorry.
hired.
Any librarians out there? Prove me wrong, please. Send pictures. Send pictures to the Order Triad podcast. If you think you're a hot librarian, and
Yeah,
so we'll
if you think you
Hashtag,
are.
yes I am, fuck you, Bobby.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
hashtag.
We'll take that.
and we'll clear your name for you
Yes.
personally.
But you have to have the glasses and the hair and a bun thing.
Well, of course.
Right.
Everyone knows that.
We will not accept any pictures. Continue, though. So
So-
the ugly librarian.
She was a
This
lovely
filthy
lady.
troll of a librarian.
She's like, here's a tome you can read in your time.
Hands it to me and it's like covered in slime. I'm like, I'm disgusted.
If I read it, would you leave me
Oh, but you
alone?
don't understand the words of wisdom, little fast.
Just Gollum with a wig on.
Like, Jesus.
So try him.
Daniel, get out of here.
Get out!
The wig doesn't hide anything.
I might actually want to talk to him later about Dobby. We'll see.
I'm curious about his opinion.
I'm always willing to discourse.
Is he on?
He's up.
We really gotta lock that.
It's like you leave it open for him to come back in.
I think you like
We have
it.
a pest
It
problem.
gets stuffy, so I can't
I
leave
think
the
you
phones
like
all
him,
the time.
Bobby.
Anyway.
So, like on recommendation of a lovely woman, not a disgusting troll of a librarian, but a nice human being, a very kind human being that I talk to every time.
More or less woman shaped.
woman shaped. But she's like, yeah, it's actually very good. I read it myself and recommend it. So I read it.
I read it when I was a kid. Wait, what?
How's that possible?
It came
She's
out in
like,
1997.
no, I'm 16. You're like, oh, you don't look 16.
Season.
It goes
season
back to her being a troll. Okay, so she recommends.
so I found
Did
out the
you
book
recommend
came out season 1 of Buffy, 1997.
1997?
Yep.
That's how you refer to the year of 1997?
Because 98 is
Season 1 of
so-
Buffy?
AB and
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually whenever something is late 90s, early 2000s, I always immediately say what season of Buffy it was.
Season
Oh,
1.
wow.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's sort of a tick that I have.
So season 2.
Season
Yeah,
2 would
I
be
think around
98. Yeah.
Roughly.
I love it. It's like, it's like having a 98. So season 2 Buffy. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
I'm gonna start doing that with
Very
Gilmore
good,
Girls.
very
For all the
good.
geek
It
out
was in
there.
99. That's when Buffy graduated high school.
There you go. Season 3, which you fucking
Season
married.
3.
Anyway.
So actually, now I think about it, it must have been in 99. The more I think about it.
Okay.
So the first and
So
second
when
one
Buffy
coming-
graduated high school?
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
So Buffy graduated high school. So I read it when Buffy graduated high school.
Okay.
But she'd already dealt with the Master and already had dealt with.
Back to Harry Potter. Back to Harry Potter. Back to
Oh, okay,
Harry
back
Potter.
to okay.
I
I'm
think you
trying to
mean.
communicate with him.
I
over
think
here.
you mean the mayor. I mean, she had dealt with the master. That's not wrong. but-
That was no. I'm talking about back in 97.
Oh, you said back in the day.
What's going on? I thought you knew all this.
You said 99.
Harry Potter. Harry
I
Potter.
said that.
Harry
I
Potter.
said that she had already.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Hermione.
Saying she already dealt with it.
Hey,
Okay.
Nate,
So
Nate.
99 was before Prisoner of Azkaban came out.
Oh,
So I read the first one and I was really impressed. I was like, dang, this is really well done. I mean, this is a kid's book all the way, but
Right.
you got such good pacing.
Yeah, such
Like,
good
Yes.
pacing.
Excellent flow.
Oh,
Like,
God, yeah.
descriptions are really, really good. Like, you immediately feel bad for Harry. This little kid. Right
all
up
the
bat.
time.
Just
Yeah.
all the time. Just like, oh, and you're like, oh, man. I'd give the guy a little hug.
He was the
High
universe's
five.
butt monkey, basically.
He was at that point. He had no
He's your
life.
quintessential tragic hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
that never gets old.
And then, by the third book.
so by the second book, the second one I was hooked.
Oh, second book.
First one I was really interested. Second book I was like, okay, this is amazing.
I'm gonna
Right.
say
This is like some of the best writing I've ever seen.
first chapter I was hooked.
By the first
Probably.
book?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I was not because I was waiting for, as our friend Jamal might put it, I was waiting for the foogerty boogerty to start, like I was like, okay, I get it. He lives undercover. That sucks. Like I felt bad for him. Like she
Right.
definitely, she done very well. And I was like, okay, well, I feel bad for this asshole. But
right.
It's a fucking juju start,
It's happening, and it happens pretty
But
quick.
it happens, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Really wonderful.
So I was like, I was really into the first one. Second one completely sold me, and then and basically it was magic in that way because then I finished the second one and the third one came out, like
Nice.
just
Ah, nice.
brand new. I'm like, okay, Third one was amazing. Like I was completely a Harry Potter fan, but the third one.
The third one, I feel, is kind of a special one for me because the first two, and the movies kind of work the same.
Right.
The first two are like another adventure by Harry Potter, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Then Harry Potter, like a great tyrant. No, because the first one's like it's wacky, I'm in school, and the second one's like there's a big snake, you know.
Oh no, at school.
And so, like, I thought it was going to be, like, very episodic. And it still is, like, it has aspects of that, but the third one, it sort of introduces a larger plot line and a larger world where you're like, oh.
With consequences.
This is something else. Something else is happening than what I thought.
They introduced the concept of jail, of, like, being in prison,
Right.
of being tortured.
And then you learn about
almost.
his dad and his dad's, and then
it's kind of
you
an
start learning about the
asshole,
Death,
like,
not
you
the
learn
Death
some
Eaters,
stuff.
but,
Yeah.
you know.
So you get more of a background on the world.
On the
like
world,
how
right.
it's policed, the government, the ministry, all of that.
Totally.
Well, basically, I thought Harry Potter was going to be like Hardy Boys with wands.
Right.
Where it was just like, yeah.
And when those first two books, I can't blame you for thinking otherwise.
And again, I wasn't against it. I was like, Hardy Boys with wands, cool, that's neat, you know.
Right.
But then it became something, I feel, in the third book. Where you're like, this is going to be special. Like, it became a world, you know. It became a Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
It came where you realize, whoa, J.K. Rowling's got a plan.
Yes,
like, there's
you could
something
feel
going on
the
here.
plan, like the
She's
threads
going
of
like,
plot.
no, I just get started. This is...
Yeah.
I wrote the first one so I could eat.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was able to get going, and
Which is true.
which is funny. I was like, so I eat and I can pay bills. Second one, I'm feeling more confident. Third one, she's like, oh, it's happening. I'm set. I can actually start telling the story I really want to tell.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's funny that you mentioned that. I when I heard that whole story, like, about how she started the books, and like,
Right.
man, because her husband divorces her, and then she's like almost destitute, and she's
got a
just like,
kid.
and she essentially just writes this book out of just like desperation, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously
Gambit.
inspiration. I don't mean to,
Right.
but like,
If I write this book will
desperation
be
pushed
sold
her.
and I'll make $20 billion.
Yeah.
I don't think she was thinking that.
no,
Yeah.
she was
she's
like,
like-
that'd be really cool if I could afford groceries next
Yeah,
week.
Right.
You
it's
know?
really cool if I can afford groceries. It'd be really cool if it was for something that I think I'm the only thing I'm good at.
Yeah.
I'm really good at writing, but
Well, plus her parents died, didn't they?
oh shoot, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well,
But
so.
And I think her dad had art. Now this could be totally wrong, so this could be a Smodcast moment. We're just making up
Just making
history,
stuff up history.
you know. But I think one of her parents had already died, and the other one died right before she started writing the books.
oh my God.
okay.
Yeah, and so
What-
that's
what-
why.
what-
That's true. That
I'll
is
check.
rough.
I'll check it, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was something like, "Oh, dear
wow.
sweet God," and now you know why Harry's life blows.
Right.
See, at that point, I'm not writing books. I'm writing suicide notes.
Yeah, like
You should start writing books. Yeah.
you gotta give her respect, like to sit down and go like, I'm gonna write a book about a magical, wonderful land.
I need to escape.
Because you're gonna fight a little bit. Like, jeez.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's rough, but
Yeah.
that desperation, man, that kept her going, and then you see it in the first one of just going like, here's a story that I can sell.
Right.
Get going, get moving, and hey, it worked. Oh, cool! I really do care about this story.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, I can start sprinkling some stuff. Is anyone really still interested? Everyone's still interested. Third one, I'll show you what the fuck I got. Yeah, that's where she's bringing out the guns. She was like,
Yeah.
okay, now it's on. Now you got it. And then from this on, you're in for a
Yeah.
roller coaster.
This is gonna change your life.
This shit's gonna be. You people are gonna carve this into their skin, man. And it's like, the third one I was like so in, and then fourth, fifth, and sixth I was just like, every volume got bigger and bigger, and
Right.
you're thinking, how could she produce that much? And she had like this amazing storytelling. It was the details, the magic, the whole world building was really good,
Right.
just astoundingly good. And that's that's how I got into it, and I just kept following it. What about you, man? Did you...
I'm interested. I guess it's an interesting situation for me because I'm the casual fan of the group. Like this is kind of
What?
cool.
Get out!
Okay.
Just get out now.
This.
What? Abracadabra!
What's kind of cool is that how I didn't know that Gina didn't know you were reading it. I didn't know that you were reading it right at the time you should have started reading it.
No,
like,
absolutely.
You're 11.
I was the marketing, wet dream. I was
Totally.
ready to
Yeah.
And I'm envious of that. By the
go
way.
to Hogwarts.
That is
and-
cool. Like
Yeah.
to be at that special time when you should be watching a thing, like
Yeah.
like seeing Star Wars when you're a kid, and
Yeah.
like that is when it becomes magical.
No,
Yeah.
and I feel like I grew up with Harry
Totally.
Potter. And Nate was mentioning Flo, which she is really good at, and I noticed that more as I was, reading more and studying English more, and
Yeah.
simultaneously
But when
reading the
you're
Harry
11,
Potter
you're just
series.
like, this is awesome.
But exactly,
Right.
when you're 11, you're like, oh, she has excellent flow. You don't.
Yeah, you don't think that. You're like,
but
It's like they fight a giant troll.
Right.
Ghosts.
So I would think if there's any element that got me at that age, it would probably be character development.
Yeah.
Because I got very invested right
Right.
away in all the characters. I'm like, oh, what happens to Ron and Hermione and Harry?
Yeah.
And like very,
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah, I remember in the third one, I was just totally like, man, he's got a godfather. He's got something
Yeah,
good shit about him.
exactly.
I was just-
Yeah.
I was ecstatic about that.
Oh, totally.
I was like, yeah.
It gets- so I don't have those feelings of it to
Yeah.
a certain degree. I do, but it's like because I read the first book at the cusp of when the first movie was coming out.
Oh, nice.
So like I heard
Yeah.
because I've heard the books for a while because the books came out in '97, right?
97.
So like
Buffy.
yes, so it came around. It came out around the Buffy season 1, and then like around 1999, like the word started really spreading, and like
Yeah.
at that point, I was like looking, I was like online a lot, and I was reading stuff like Harry Potter is really big. I went, what? Harry what? I didn't know what that was, but it sounded like something I
Is that
could
a
get.
euphemism for something?
It sounded like
You
something.
ever do a Harry Potter?
Oh God.
But it did sound something like I can get into.
Magical.
Yeah, like it sounded like something I can get into. It's like basically like okay, like young kid goes into adventures. Title evokes Indiana Jonesy type stuff.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
sweet. I could get into that, but like I was reading other things like Ender's Game and.
That's
And, like,
actually a great book to read when you're younger too.
I love that's my.
It's really good.
I love Ender's Game to death.
They've started teaching that in schools.
As
It's a
they
great
should.
book. It's a fantastic book.
Ender's Game and like Dead Zone were like my
Oh.
my books in high school.
That is not a kid's book.
It's not, but
It's a great book.
It's an awesome book, but it's not a kid's
Yeah,
book.
no.
So around the time the first movie came out, at the same time, Lord of the Rings was coming out.
Yeah.
That's another thing to
that's
keep in mind. They
right.
came out the same year. People tend to forget.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll just do both the fantasy ones. So
Sure.
I decided. So I bought the big ass Lord of the Rings book that has all three, and then I bought the first Harry Potter book. And I figured, okay, cool. Like I'll do Harry Potter first because it looks smaller.
Yes.
And
it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the guy, but Tolkien.
I think it's another.
Oh,
That's a
God.
whole other topic.
Yeah.
Dense, sir.
That's a whole other topic.
At least half that book is completely. You
It's
can
elf
skip past.
songs.
Tom
Tom Bombadil, get the fuck out of here.
Walking
Sorry,
through a
I don't want to
forest.
offend anyone.
Like I could do a whole nother. I could have a soapbox mission about
Yeah.
soapbox like speech about.
Well, we can do a Lord of the Rings one.
That might be fun.
That'd be
too.
fun, yeah.
Near Hobbit time. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of, anyway, but I read the first book and I thought, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, near the Hobbit.
Like I read the first Harry Potter book. That's cool. And that's in the movie, and I felt the same way about it. That's cool, and I liked it enough. Like I appreciated it more as my thing is like, oh man, I wish I saw this when I was 11.
Right.
Like read the movie, saw the movie, and I read the book. I wish I read this and saw this stuff when I was 11 because I would have fucking flipped.
Oh, to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Because it's great. It's great little fun adventure stuff, you
Yeah.
know. Then the second year came, then the second year around, the second movie was going to come out. I read the second book, and the second book is where I started noticing the skill
Yeah.
of what she was doing as a writer.
Yeah, the second book's really where you see it.
Because it's the way she started describing how the kids were petrified and frozen,
Yeah.
and it was creepy.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
going,
I was creeped out.
yeah, like this is like I'm going, this is still a kid's book, right? Like, but I was getting legitimately freaked out by it. The way it's like he described them as if they were dead.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, holy shit! Like, and I'm sort of like, Hermione's technically dead.
Yeah.
Like that's what my brain was going. Then the second movie came out, and I liked it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I think I'm in. Then the third movie came around, and life happened,
Sure.
and the movie came out, and I realized the movie was coming out, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't get to read the third book. Fuck. Oh fuck it, I'll watch it. So I watched it, and I liked it. I'm like, cool. Then the fourth movie came out, and the same thing happened again.
Right.
And I'm 2 books behind.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm going, you know what? I'm kind of liking them as movies.
Yeah.
And especially since I heard, like, here's interesting. After I saw the third movie, I watched the third movie with you, Nate.
Yeah.
And we walked out of the theater, and you had that hesitant, you liked it, but you had, like, you know, your traditional gripes of what they left out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Anybody's
told
read
me,
the books.
what they left out, and I'm going, well, you should put that in there. And you're like, exactly!
Exactly. 'Cause these are things that will come back.
Well, that third one has some grievous. That third movie has some grievous, like, negligence, like
Yeah.
stuff that they left out.
Oh,
Stuff that could have been a 4-second conversation.
The biggest one
Yeah.
of all for me was, why was there a glowing stag?
Right.
And Nate's like, that was supposed to be. Like, what? Really?
Yeah.
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 That
Yeah.
seems like an important detail you
It's
should have
really
found
They give
in.
you no background for the climax of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
what awful storytelling. Awful.
It was
awful waffle.
I was worried because I remember watching the third one, going like, "Oh, the director probably gonna get the most praise for being probably one of the most creative directors, but kind of a selfish director. He kind of chose the stuff that made sense to him, and wasn't kind of thinking like, oh, I got 4 other ones after me.
Right.
It was kind of selfish on his part. That was one thing I'd call him. I was like, ooh, you left out stuff you really should have kept in there.
And I think it's kind of the reason why I sort of decided, like, I'm more behind. And I figured, you know, I decided I'm just gonna let the movies be the movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge movie guy.
Sure.
So, but I kind of made the decision. I'm gonna let the movies be the movies, and then when the movies are done, I'll come back.
Yeah.
And then, like, because then I'll wait. That way, it'll be added enjoyment Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
this is
kind of cool.
like, oh, cool. That's cool. Like, and then instead of being pissed off at the movie, I'll be enjoying the book more.
And I never
That
was
way I'll
pissed
be
off at the
happier.
movies. I was
That's
annoyed,
true.
but I was never like, you guys didn't get anything wrong.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, real quick, I remember I made that decision with Watchmen. 'Cause
Oh.
I never read the Watchmen comic, and the movie was coming out. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch the movie
Oh, see, that's
and
good.
then
Yeah.
read the comic, because what I did was I saw the movie
Yeah.
and I was like, this is a cool movie,
Right.
Because I
Yeah.
never, I didn't have any expectation.
Totally.
And then I read the book and I was like, this is a cool book.
See, yeah,
So I have
exactly.
like happy memory with both.
Exactly.
That's nice.
See, that's the thing. And whereas I got the opposite spectrum,
Yeah.
and like I love the comic, then I saw the movie and I like the movie,
Right.
but see, that's why I decided to do it with Harry Potter.
It's almost better to go that way.
It is
honestly.
kind of better to go
Yeah.
that way.
I had the same thing with Lord of the Rings because I remember it was coming out, and of course, Bobby and his family are all into it, and I was trying to read it,
Yeah.
but God, I didn't get through it. I just didn't.
It's
Oh,
hard.
Lord of the Rings, you didn't finish it all the way?
No.
Hard.
And so I didn't get
Understandable.
through the first one before the movie, and then there's so much content for
Yeah.
one movie because
Yeah.
the books are doorstops.
Right.
And
Completely
so, and then I was
understandable.
like, I'm not going to catch up with this because I am also reading Harry Potter, and that takes precedence. So,
Fair enough.
so I was just like, I'll like you said, I'll let those be
J.K.
movies,
Rowling's at the
Right.
chalkboard. Take that, Sophie.
right?
One for me. But I know I totally understand because when I read the books, oh my god, I was just a bored, lonely teenager at high school. So it was like escape. So I was able to like plod through those really. I totally, for both you and Justin, I totally understand why you didn't get through the first part. It's ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good
Ridiculous.
books, but they are.
Fantastic books when you get past the camping, the walking,
And the elf
And
songs.
don't forget the eating.
And
The eating. Oh, the eating.
Oh,
They,
the eating.
They describe every meal that they
Every
have. I'm like,
meal.
were you hungry when you were writing this, Tolkien?
Yeah, he was like, and the sandwiches are so ...
There's 100 pages of them walking and eating and sleeping.
But that's funny. That's like
He must have forgot lunch and just wrote instead of eating.
George R. R. Martin, who does Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, the HBO.
Uh-huh.
Same thing, man. His book, and the walking, not so much. He's good. He's good about that.
Yeah,
He
he's good.
he skips shit, But eating, like I don't know what it is about fantasy writers. They keep writing while they are starving. Like he describes.
Have you seen
everything.
George R. R. Martin?
No, for sure I have.
Sorry,
he's a-
George.
He's not a man who looks
Sorry,
like he said no
Georgie.
to a burger.
No.
Sorry, Georgie.
He's a very significant man, And I actually met him at Comic-Con one year.
Oh, really?
It was a panel of like
Nice.
5 fantasy writers, and it was George R. R. Martin.
Butcher?
I don't think he was there, but it was Ari Salvatore,
Ooh.
Terry Goodkind, a couple like the fantasy, a bunch of
Yeah,
very
they got
famous
five.
fantasy.
The five, yeah.
And but it was a small panel. It was like
Yeah.
maybe 25 people in the audience. It was awesome. But
What?
Yeah, it was like one of the small rooms, And then so I got
Did you hear my
to.
high-pitched what?
That's when we all get to ask questions
This
of
was
everyone.
fun.
It was
That's cool.
It was like a press conference. It was
That's
awesome.
pretty
It was so
Awesome.
cool.
Right on.
But yeah, Harry Potter.
I like Harry Potter.
Awkward segue.
You know, it's
Awkward
about,
segue.
it's about literature, it's about writing, and all
Yeah.
these readings, and
So we went to the midnight screening of the last movie.
Yes.
Oh my god.
oh yeah.
Yes,
That was
So
fun.
much fun.
it was.
Why was it fun for
Well,
you
yeah,
in
for you
particular?
too.
Well, we dressed up. It was Bobby and I were. Well, Bobby was Snape and I was Hermione, and then his family, his parents were Arthur and Molly Weasley. His little brother was Harry, and his older brother Bill was Mad-Eye Moody, and
makes
he
him-
has a very
he's a-
intricate, amazing
Wow.
costume.
He makes it. He's an incredible
Yeah.
man. Moody.
He's
fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's
Amazing Mad-Eye
the
Moody.
perfect. And one of our other friends, Justin, decked himself out all in gold, spray painted his shoes gold, gold gel in his hair, had a gold mask,
Had
and
gold
got
wings on the.
and gold little angel wings, and he was the snitch.
I gotta point out that took me a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was staring at
Yeah.
him. I don't remember seeing that character.
Because he had like a gold mask, so he actually looked kind of horrifying.
Yeah.
Like it was like this gold
Is he like some
featureless
weird
mask.
gold Death
Right.
Eater?
Because I'm also a Doctor Who fan, and I don't know if you've seen the episode where the Doctor was on Space Titanic,
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
but there was these golden angel type things that Justin looked exactly
Oh,
like.
how funny.
So am I going like you're wearing the
Why
wrong
is he
costume?
Doctor Who dressed
That's
over
actually
here?
really funny to go to a midnight showing of Harry Potter dressed like a Doctor Who character.
Well, there was
It
there was
happened.
also our friend Brian.
Number 4.
And our friend Brian was Lupin, and he made a perfect Lupin.
Our buddy Brian makes a fantastic Lupin.
Yeah,
He's
it was
slim, but he's got similar facial features. Yeah, it's really great.
And what was cool is we all rolled in together, and we were meeting a friend in line, and they kind of have it sectioned off with rope, so you have to walk past the people already in line to get to your spot. And it was like a parade because we were this huge troop of people all dressed up together. And as we're walking, everyone is clapping and cheering and.
Well, because the line is like a mile long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we had plenty of time. It was around the entire mall we were at.
Yeah.
So we walked for 10 minutes while people were clapping and cheering and Snape, Lupin. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That was pretty fun.
As we were in line, we had I'm going to say every 2 minutes someone come up and want to take a picture with us.
Yeah.
And poor Justin was the photographer because he's there in his polo shirt.
Yeah.
And so he ended up.
I made the joke that I was J.K. Rowling's ex-husband.
Nice.
Oh, nice!
The most powerful man of all Potter.
Nice.
I created all of you.
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't me.
My
ex-wife didn't fucking hate my guts.
I think it sounded like Jason Statham. Like, my horrible ex-wife.
Is that Mark Strong?
That too. Same guy, aren't they? One has hair.
I'm married J.K. Rowling.
But yeah.
But no, I became your unofficial photographer.
And I'm not kidding. Not J.K. J.K.
And it was crazy because in the line and in the theater and standing outside of the theater the entire time, people want photo op, and I'm a little ashamed of how big of a ham I am. I got kind of caught up with it, because we were there, and I was thinking back to it, and I would be like, "Yeah, come take a picture of us. Stand next to me. Photo op, everyone. Everybody smile." And I had a Hermione pose.
Yeah.
I was very.
I had a snake pose.
I'm kind of a fame whore, I guess.
It was pretty impressive though. Really, just seeing you guys lumped together is that kind of cool thing where I felt ashamed I didn't have a costume. I was hi. These are my friends. I put my arm out.
They're way cooler than I am.
I started joking the idea. I started charging every time someone wanted to take a picture.
We would have made hundreds of
We really would have.
$5 a person. Jesus.
If we pretended to be some official thing, Krikorian had
who wants a picture of the Potter people?
Yeah.
Podcast! Picture!
Yeah.
Picture podcast! Right here! We got Snape!
Remember after
Me
the
and
movie,
Ravenclaw, what the fuck you like? Get over here.
Yeah.
I think after the movie, we kind of tried to find a nook so we could talk about the movie because we were all excited about it, but
Totally.
everyone was passing by us and we had a crowd watching us and
taking pictures
and constant. After the movie, it wasn't once every 2 minutes. It was
it
picture,
was
picture, picture. But it was a funny thing. I never got annoyed. It was awesome.
No, me neither.
Right.
I felt like a celebrity. It was so awesome.
It was like you went to the premiere of your own movie.
Totally.
You
That's
just
what
went
it was
they're like, oh, that's us up there. Hey,
Snape
hi.
and
I'll take a
Hermione
picture.
went to the premiere of Harry Potter.
Hey, it's your public.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do?
It was totally. It was so thrilling. I was so excited.
I wasn't in costume, and I was happy for you guys. I was those are my friends. We're excited to see them.
Well, and this has convinced me that we have to dress up for con next time. Because
Yeah.
if
At
it's
least one
anything
of the
like
days,
that, I will
like-
just have a field day.
It kind of makes now you kind of get it.
I get it.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Not just because they like to wear the costumes and pretend to be people. No, there's a party. It's then people are excited to see the work you did.
Well,
Yeah.
the people coming up to you
We do
and being
good costume.
excited and complimenting you, and especially because if you do a good costume,
Yeah.
to the level where people are complimenting you,
Yeah.
you probably put a lot of work into it.
No, totally.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like instant gratification because we spent days working on those costumes, weeks for some of the people because of the more complicated ones, and it was it immediately paid off. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and I will be the first to tell you, you guys did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some bad Harry Potter costumes, but that was awesome. And the snitch one was actually, once you get it, you're kind of like,
It's
that's
hilarious.
really fun and kind of clever.
And he had the best idea. We're in line, right? And this is our other friend Justin. So when I say Justin, it's another person.
We'll call them Crumbles.
Crumbles. Sorry, Crumbles. So Crumbles was there, and Bobby's little brother Tommy was Harry Potter,
And he looks just like Harry Potter.
He looks just like, oh my god. And so so Crumbles was like, hey, you should chase me around because we're all standing in line, hundreds of people, and there's the whole section of the parking lot. So the snitch runs, you see Harry Potter chasing the snitch, and they went all around the mall, and everyone was cheering. Oh my god, it was so
what's
funny.
going on?
People were freaking out because they were running fast, through the parking lot, through the
my
line,
God.
and people lost their shit once they figured it out.
That's awesome.
They came back and they were huffing and puffing.
and Harry Potter, my little brother, had the snitch by the scruff of the neck, and people were like, Gryffindor!
Gryffindor!
Gryffindor wins!
Gryffindor wins! Like, yeah, what? That was a really... Yeah, actually, you guys made what is normally a fun event really fucking great.
Right.
Because it was like... I felt like I was kind of almost like one of the hype men. Like,
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I ain't in the show, but I know them. What? Harry Potter.
Your entourage.
Harry Potter. Gotta hear the spell around this.
That's
over
true.
here.
Because
That's pretty cool.
like we've been to like other midnight screenings, and
Sure.
those have been cool and fine. But this is one where it's like you kind of like it's kind of cool to see like how much people can get excited for something.
Well, this was
And
the best
awesome.
midnight screening I've ever been to by far.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
When I was because you're in the actual theater for like an hour before it starts. Most midnight screenings.
Right.
And so same thing. We were in there, and I had to pee or I had to get water or something. But I just because I was like, okay, like traveling around by yourself in costume takes a lot more guts than traveling in a group.
Yeah.
Like traveling
you're
in a
packed.
group, you're like
packed together.
fucking we're way cool, you know.
Bam.
But when you're like Snape, when you're dressed as Snape, and now you're walking through normal people.
Hi, I had to pee.
So
Excuse me.
I was just like, fuck. I was like, I tried to like harness my inner Snape, you know. I was just like, fuck you guys, and like had my hair in my face all long, and I just like walked it. But I was like, oh, it's so embarrassing. But
I had to pee.
But here's the thing: I never received. None of us
Snape
did the
never
whole
does
time.
to
There
pee.
was no negative vibe ever. Like, it was nothing but positive vibes, like the whole time. But while I was out there, this chick stopped me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And you were out there for that.
Yeah, and we talked about this last episode, but now it's funny because you can actually explain what the costume is.
She's like, can I take a picture with you? And I was like, yeah, sure, cool. And she's like, actually, I want to plank in front of you. And I was like, okay.
Excuse me?
I was like, all right, like, is this part of scavenger hunt? Or like, and she was like, where do you want to do it? I was like, there's some chairs over there. And she's like, okay. And so I walk up and I just sort of stood behind her and did like the Snape pose, arms crossed. And
Like
she
very
laid
unapproved.
across the two chairs doing the fucking stupid planking thing. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a hilarious picture for somebody. you know?
Right.
And I just like stood like disapprovingly, you know.
Right, and it's funny because it's not Snape, it's Bobby Johnson.
Yeah.
Standing
Yeah.
disapproving of what that girl's doing.
No, that was not Snape.
I'm sorry. What you have to explain what this is. What is
Yep,
this?
thank you, because that was the exact
Nate,
same boat
because
as
we
you.
came back and we had to explain it to Nate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
what-
the dumbest.
Oh
I'll,
yes.
I'll
Yes.
explain this in like
This
one
is from the
sentence.
depths
If you
of
explain it, I'm gonna grab a
retardation.
picture real quick.
Yeah.
Keep explaining.
I'll explain in one
okay,
sentence. Planking is taking a picture of yourself laying flat as a board on things like the ground, maybe a wall.
Okay.
The purpose? I don't fucking know.
Here.
Why?
She just saw a picture of it, and that's...
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just saw a picture.
why?
It's on an escalator that looked like, and this girl's all across.
The guy at a grocery store on a shopping cart. It's just like a thing. I don't know why.
To be weird, I guess.
Is it supposed to be funny or weird or
guess
like?
funny.
I guess it's kind of funny. 'cause
Impressive?
It would depend on the picture. Depends on where you're planking.
The guy on a banister.
Like, I guess the funny thing about it is that if you see like a series of these in a row, it's kind of funny.
It is funny. The more you watch, the funnier it gets.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a part of it.
Well, it's just reminding me of like Petrificus totalis.
Yeah, that's what. That's the funny thing is like,
It's five.
And it's a Harry Potter podcast again.
it's like Bobby's coming back. I'm going like, did you like is it a spell or something? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Why did she do that? She's like, it's called planking. I'm like, but what? He's like, yeah, you laid it flat as a board.
See, that's funny because
That's dumb.
Babe, you were mentioning like, oh, took a picture with this girl, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna do planking, and in my head I was like, what the hell's planking?
Wait,
What is this?
touching your
that's my
dick.
boyfriend.
What is this
That's my
crazy thing?
fiancé.
That, hey now.
Hey. I'm gonna plank you in the face. How's that?
Hey.
It's funny. As I was telling the story,
Hey.
I could like feel waves of hostility, like
Right.
just like unspoken. I was like, we're gonna
Can I
have to.
plank with you? I'm like,
I was like,
excuse
we're
me.
gonna have to explain what planking is.
It's really stupid. So don't worry. You don't feel threatened. It's
No,
real.
I don't at
I
all.
might have to Google search that picture.
I tried. I couldn't find it, but she might not have put it up yet because I tried
No.
like right after. So
Okay.
give it a shot. Do like Snape planking because
Snake planking.
honestly, if
Snake
I
planking.
want that picture.
Sir, if I see like 12 and it's not you, then it's a sad and slightly funny
weird.
day.
No, it's like this is a thing. Like this is a stupid fad inside of a stupid fad.
I wish we could find any of the
Turducken of
pictures
stupidity.
from that we took with people that night, like on the Kerkorian website or something, because those are everywhere.
That's the
But
funny-
we
took
just don't know
100
anyone we
pictures,
took
but,
pictures
like,
with.
we didn't take a lot of pictures.
That's true.
So like we were looking at our phones and a couple cameras. We probably have like 6 pictures of the whole thing, but
Yeah.
there are like hundreds of pictures out there of us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there was a
like,
ton of pictures.
I regret I didn't bring my camera. I didn't even think of it. And then I saw the picture, like, shit, I should bring my camera.
we brought one. We just forgot. Like we took like 3, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what are we doing? You know, we're so stupid.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That was fun.
But what do we think of the movie? The final,
The final film.
the ultimate Harry Potter film.
Penultimate.
Well, that'd be the second to last. Part 1.
Let's start with Gina.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought that they added things where it needed to be adding, because what I'll say of J.K. Rowling is that she is not good with she's not good at climaxing. No, but she's not good with
Sexy.
She's great with the build up, but like epic battles not her forte.
No.
You know, like
She glosses over.
she makes you
Harry tends to be not there.
right, exactly.
So it's sort of like some crazy battle happened. Harry was falling down the stairs.
Right. Well, and she's good with the tension and the build up and character development, so she makes you really invested in the battle. She makes you care about the battle and understand the consequences of the outcome. Mm-hmm. But then, like, the actual, action is not so great. It's So I like they did a little prelude type thing with Voldemort and Harry, and they're kind of like physically assaulting each other and flying around and
awesome.
falling down things, and and that did not happen in the book at all. And I was
like, pew pew dead.
Wait, really?
right,
Yeah.
and I was
It
like,
was
oh,
so
good, it needed that.
anticlimactic. It was literally
It was very anticlimactic.
It was like Harry Potter
7
gave
books
this.
of build-up.
He gave like the Scooby-Doo speech, because you know how at the end when they're on the bridge in the movie,
Yeah.
like after the climax, Harry's like, well, and he explains what happened. He's like, actually, it was Draco's one, blah blah blah. Okay, in the climax of the book, they meet up after his death or whatever, and Harry and Voldemort are in front of everyone, and they're kind of circling each other, like being like very Dragon Ball Z, but like, I'm gonna beat you, no, I'm gonna beat you, you know? And then Harry
You don't
goes,
even seen 10% of my power.
totally. And so Harry Potter's like, well, technically the wand belongs to me because of this. And then they go, pew, pew, and Voldemort dies. Like, it's the most anticlimactic fucking...
really bad.
The movie did that way better.
Yeah.
Yes,
So like,
much-
they included flying around and like punching each other in the face.
You mean they're
and,
actually fighting each other?
Yeah,
shooting
it's actually
magic at
a
each other.
vicious fight between two people who want each other dead more than anyone else on the planet.
Well, because here's the thing, like, they're wizards. Of course, you could use, like, I don't have to, touch you or physically assault you to kill you. Like, you have a wand.
You're allowed a wand.
You're allowed a wand. But, you needed that because they were, like, mortal
Something
enemies
primal,
and something,
really.
exactly.
They
Something
hate
primal, some
each other.
force.
They've been ruining each other's
Yeah.
lives for the past almost 10 years.
So
Yeah.
I think there needed to be that catharsis present. So I like that they added that. And I like that they gave Ron and Hermione more to do.
Yeah, they weren't even there in the climax of the book. Like,
Really?
They went away to go destroy the Horcruxes, which you don't see.
Uh-huh.
You don't see them go to the chamber.
Wait, seriously? That's
No.
in the book?
They're like, we're gonna go. We think we have an
Like,
idea.
you see them when
We
they
have an
come
idea.
back and like, hey, we did this.
We kill the Horcruxes.
That's...
Yep.
Wait, seriously?
It's
Seriously,
really bad.
yeah.
Like,
It's really bad. It's
What the
the seventh
fuck?
book is really, really weak in the
The climax is
the
weak.
climaxes and just like scenes that are like I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole bunch of stuff with Neville that I would have loved to see, but they just gloss over.
Right.
That in the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
That's
like, "Whoop."
insane. Because like I was sitting there going like, as a fan of the guy who used to remember the movies, I go, oh, it's cool. They brought back the chamber. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
I recognize
Full
that.
circle,
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
Right.
That's kind of cool. And like that's a good idea. And that's how they got the thing. That's sweet. Cool. And then the big kiss didn't happen in the book.
No, it
No, it
happened,
happened.
but it happened in the room of requirement.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Like when
That's
they're
okay.
when they're because you know how like in the movie when all the people show up and it's like everybody's here, but it's like in the Great Hall.
Yeah.
In the book, it was in the room of requirement. They all came through the portrait and they all had like the big like yay moment before they all left the room to go fight, like to
Right.
start the war.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when Ron and Hermione kiss. And so it's more in front. There's like a huge audience. So everyone's
Right.
like, "Ooh,"
Right.
which is an interesting way. But I like the movie.
I like
movie
this
wanna-
kiss better.
Because I feel like it's that's actually to me it feels like that's a good dramatically and comedically great moment to do. It works
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like they just had this big scare and that's enough for them to go like, are we finally? Can we make this official now?
Yeah.
That's
we almost
Stop.
died.
We just about died. I'm sick of dancing around it. Mah!
And I also like what they did with Nagini because that's what
They
they made.
expanded that.
They expanded it and they made it like Ron and Hermione were threatened by it and they were trying to stab it with the basilisk's fang and it came close to getting them and then Neville has this big moment. Whereas in the book it's a little more random than that. Like there's not that build up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a different energy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It had
bad.
an energy I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand why they did this in the movie because it was like they had to give Ron and Hermione something to do because they
Yeah.
literally weren't in the climax of the book
Right.
at
Yeah.
all.
Right.
Like they come back, they don't really do anything in the final fight. It's over. Then you see them 19 years later. Like it's
Right.
like what happened to Ron and Hermione? They're gone like 4 chapters ago. You know.
Right.
Yeah,
And so like I like
okay.
that, and it was more tension filled because
Yeah.
and it was something good to box against the Voldemort fight. 'Cause
Oh,
it's always
great.
good to have multiple things going on. You know.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So it worked great. But in the book, you know when he's like when Voldemort is sort of like Harry's dead.
Yeah.
And Voldemort's sort of giving his like, come to my side speech, blah, blah, blah. And he's like giving shit to Neville and Neville comes out.
Yeah.
And he's got the hat.
Yeah.
He fucking like, he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. Harry Potter. He fucking pulls the sword out of the hat and kills the snake in one hit.
Oh.
So it's more like, it's all like we've all lost. It's
Right.
like so it was like despair, and then it was like, what's up, motherfuckers? And then the fighting started again. So
That's cool.
it was more like it was a different energy. It was
Sure.
still good. It was just different.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I can see that. Okay.
So I guess overall, most of the movies they had to leave some stuff out, which I understand.
Right.
Huge books, you have to. Movie is a different medium. It's a different medium.
certainly.
You have to tell a story
It's
differently.
visual.
So I have points of contention with some of the things they left out, but I do understand that you have to leave things out. Whereas this 7th one was pretty much all the battle, and they added some elements, and I liked that a lot.
That's kind of good.
Yeah,
that's pretty
it
cool.
is.
Well, I know I really enjoyed the part after the fight, on the bridge.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my major complaints about the book. It was like Voldemort died, and then it's like he like describes a sunset, and then it's 19 years later.
Right.
Like you get no closure after the fight.
Right.
It's very like, whoa, it's kind of jerky. Because you're like, I wanted to know what happened after the fight. I don't really care what
abrupt.
happened 19 years later. Like,
Can we
that's
at
not
least
the story.
mourn for the loss of so many huge characters?
It's sort of like climax with
Never
no
got to.
epilogue. Because the epilogue is so far later that you're
Right.
like, what? Like, it's just...
So I guess everyone's all right.
Well, that's really weirding me out because
Yeah.
like that bit where they're just walking through the hall and like they kind of have their little moments of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't ask for much.
Yeah, that's
like
the
it's
thing.
just little moments. Like just
Yeah.
look. Like and then
The
just
magic of movies can give you
Yeah.
a visual, quick.
Yeah.
All right, they're
And you
good.
can see it. Like,
They're
like
good.
Hagrid.
Oh,
They're good.
The moment
They're
it's
good.
Hagrid doesn't need to say anything.
No.
Just
No.
what he did was exactly what Hagrid and Harry needed to say to each other, and that was perfect.
Yeah, and then, you got to see Slughorn still being goofy, and, like,
Yeah.
everyone was... There was something.
Right.
And then Ron and Hermione go out, and they have the sort of final, like, scene, and then... it was just like... There was kind of a denouement.
right.
You know?
Like, it does feel like this is the ending.
Yeah.
We're still 19 years later.
Yeah, imagine, like, Voldemort exploded,
Right.
and then 19 years later. Like, it was like, whoa, in the book.
That's weird.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
really
annoying.
like that they added that.
I guess everyone's all right. I have to assume.
Well, it was
19
like,
years later.
okay, like, the way the
Jesus.
movie was, it was like a really intense, like, bang. Like, the movie just banged you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, no. And it was awesome. And then it kind of, then you cuddle. And it's like, oh, let's cuddle. And then he leaves. And then the movie leaves. And it sends you a letter years later. And you're like, oh. You know,
they're doing okay.
yeah. Whereas the book, it was like a really intense bang. As soon as he blew his load, he fucking ran out the door. And then 19 years
Didn't put
later,
his
he
clothes
sent you a
on.
letter. And you're like, fuck you, you know? Like, the movie was a little cuddle. You know,
Yeah.
it was nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, movies can fix issues from, and things can be fixed better in adaptation sometimes. Yeah.
No, that's true.
And there was some stuff I hated that they did in the movie, or things they had done. But the ending, they did really well.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that.
They ended it very well.
Yeah.
Very well compared to what we had in the book, which is very annoying. Remember reading that book going like,
Well, the book was great. It was just
It was
that, like,
fantastic,
the climax was.
but the climax it was so like felt so much like Saving Private Ryan, just jerky, like running with the camera, like oh god they're dead and they're dead, oh fuck, oh fuck, okay, the end. I'm like wait,
No.
I'd like to know. I mean, like you don't even get it, but Tonks is pregnant, like had a kid,
Right.
Had
which
a
is
baby.
like barely mentioned.
not even mentioned.
Barely.
Right.
So like, and there's
In
that
the book or the movie?
in the book.
Oh, my
No, in the book they at least give you more.
They give you more,
Yeah.
but
In the movie, it's like, oh, your
in
kid,
the
and
movie,
you're like, he has a
yeah,
kid.
in the movie you don't even know, but it's just like, but I didn't even get much of that, and there's this whole Tonks and Lupin relationship in the book that didn't have very much,
Yeah.
and then in the movie even less. It was like really just reduced to almost nothing.
Right.
Well, I was hoping they'd expand on some of the weaknesses of the book, which they did, obviously, but like Lupin and Tonks.
Yeah.
Because that's how basically
That's-
how it happened in the book, too. It was like, oh, they're dead. And you're like, whoa,
Wait a
what?
minute.
You know? Like, and the movie, I was like, they're going to give him a fight. And they didn't.
No, they're off, so to speak, off screen in the book and off screen in the movie, and they're
Just like Mad Eye Moody in the one before that.
Same thing. I was like, oh, they're going to expand Madame.
They
He's the
expanded.
most badass character in the movie and the book.
It took Voldemort to take him out.
Yeah, it did. In the
They
book,
mentioned him. He's
And
dead.
the thing, they didn't even, like, and
the
then I
book, too.
realized after I saw the movie, the book was even more descriptive. Because the book, it was like, they come in, it's all crazy. What happened? And it's
Yeah.
like, Moody's dead. And in the movie, Bill Weasley goes, Moody's dead. End of scene. And that was it.
Right.
Right.
Whereas in the book, it was like, Moody's dead. Whoa, what happened? Like, they
Right.
ask, and he's like, Voldemort thought that Moody would have Harry Potter because Moody was the strongest wizard,
Right.
which was Moody's plan the whole time. That's
Yeah.
why Moody's Harry Potter, in quotes, was the asshole. Because Moody didn't
Mundungus.
care if Mundungus died. Because
Yeah.
he knew Voldemort would come for Moody.
Right.
And so if Mundungus died, fuck that guy,
Right.
Yeah,
However, you had to have known that Mundungus wasn't going to stick around.
Well,
Exactly.
he knew that. Because he didn't want to endanger him.
Yeah.
So, even though he was an asshole,
But
he probably didn't
he
want him to
knew
die.
that Voldemort would come after him.
Yeah.
That
Right,
was,
yeah.
So Mad Eye had Moody had a mad plan.
Yeah, he's the
like, I'm
strongest
probably gonna
and,
die.
like, the most clever, And
Right.
so, like, he went, and then Voldemort shows up, and they have a fight, and Voldemort kills him, And then when he's dead, and they talk about it, and they all have a drink for him in the book.
Right.
Like a drink for a war, and even for the kids, they pour out like whiskey, and they all drink, and it's like a nice moment, you know.
Right.
And then later, when Mad Eye's eye is in Dolores Umbridge's door.
Right, and Harry is, he's taking the polyjuice potion, and
He's in the ministry.
He's in the ministry, and he takes the eye off of the door because
he's like,
she's using it
No,
to
you're not
spy.
gonna get the-
Dolores Umbridge is using it to spy on her workers and make sure that they're, efficient and doing what they're supposed to do, and he's like, no, this is not how this is supposed to be.
because they never found
used.
Moody's body.
Yeah,
It's just like,
and
no, you know.
takes it
The
off
last
of the
thing I
door.
can get? No,
But
you're not.
I have to conclude that this last movie, or not this last one, but before it, was like, fuck you, Moody. Like, no one even...
It was like fucking Moody. It's like Moody's dead anyway. And then his eyes in the door, and Harry's like he just doesn't
how
care.
much film time would that have taken? 0.5 seconds? Like, to have him take the eye off of the door?
Like, in the film, you
Have a moment, you'll...
Yeah.
like you could have done in the film was like he looks at the eye, flash cut to Moody,
Yeah.
and so you can identify that's Moody's eye,
Yeah.
and then you can do that.
Well,
thing.
I think
and that's all you need.
they linger on it long enough in the film to where you can see that it's Moody's eye.
See, I didn't know that though.
That's it.
Oh,
if you
really?
were, if you
Oh,
didn't know,
maybe
you
not.
might not. Because there's always kind of magical
very
shit
fast.
happening
It was
everywhere.
very
I didn't know that. So like when you guys told me about that after we saw the movie, I'm like,
I get it. Okay.
That was
So that-
Mad Eye's eye?
I was like, that was Mad Eye's eye? No, the big thing for me, and I remember I talked about this after the first movie, was like when Hedwig,
Oh,
here's the thing, so they didn't read the book.
Yeah.
Painful.
When Hedwig went down, and you're all going like, well, at least Hedwig had a better death than Moody, and I went, wait, what?
Okay.
Because let me explain, it's like, what do you mean Hedwig died? And then you guys are like, he died, dude. But no, I mean, like, there's another...
He'll kill you.
There's another movie. So, like, does he fly back, or Harry fly? And you go both gave me that look like, the kid,
oh,
the
he
dog
doesn't know
died.
yeah.
Oh, he doesn't know about Santa Claus.
Oh, you sweet thing.
The dog's not off in a farm.
Yeah, the dog didn't go next door.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like, Hedwig is on a farm now.
What do you...
Wait, there's another
But
movie.
Harry's gonna get him, right? And, like, that's when it hit me. I went, oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first official killing of innocence in the
Well,
Harry Potter
and it's
world.
Fucking owl got killed!
It still got killed better in the movie than in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the book, it's in a cage,
Right.
and the cage falls.
No.
Right.
It's in a cage, and a random Avada Kedavra curse hits Hedwig in the cage in the motorcycle. Like, it's fucking senseless.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
just like, oh.
But
you
you're
know,
like, Harry, let's take him out. And then Hedwig comes in and saves Harry.
Right.
right. And so it made more sense, you know?
Yeah, it made more sense
And
too.
then it
Harry's
gave him
like, why would I drag this poor owl
In
to
a
a
cage.
killing
Right,
rage?
yeah.
Well, no, free. Get out of here. You're
Yeah.
free.
And then he comes to
Because
save
like
his
to
ass.
save is like
It
it's
was so
love.
senseless in the book. Like, it was just mean in the
Right.
book. It was like,
Yeah.
really?
That's really mean.
You know, like... then he has to, but he does have to blow up Hagrid. I think that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, because I remember there was a part with the cage.
That's kind of when because he says goodbye. That's when he says goodbye, because he's...
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Because
Yeah.
I was like,
It's-
there's a part in the cage, and I cried, and it got to me.
Well, because it's Harry and Hagrid on the motorcycle,
He's
just
the
like
most
in the
innocent
movie.
creature the entire thing.
Yeah.
The thing that brought him was
Well, it's just like, magic.
magic can be lovely.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it,
Yeah.
die.
Well,
But, they were on the motorcycle, and Hagrid and Harry, and Harry's in that little bitch sidecar.
Right.
But he jumps onto the main car because there's all these fucking Death Eaters flying him, and he uses a spell to cut the sidecar off the motorcycle. And as it falls, he makes it explode, and he takes out like 12 Death Eaters. Like, that was really cool in the book,
Right.
you know. But Hedwig was in the car, and so he cuts it, and he's like, bye, and he blows it up. So it was just like because he was already dead.
That's
but
what I
you're like,
remember.
oh.
Yeah, that and it's. I have a thing about this because I think it's kind of bad writing to do such a sympathetic kill, and I have.
Well, it's good writing, to be fair. But it was...
Well, not it's a cheap trick.
It's a cheap trick, I agree.
You know, like to garner sympathy. But like, I have a thing on my blog, like a little essay, I guess you could say. And it's why they always kill the dog, because
Right.
it's like pets or animal companions or whatever serve a certain purpose, and they're like, you know, to be loyal up until the climax, or to be some sort of mirror for the main character, and then like once they've served their purpose, they don't stick around.
Yeah.
Like they get killed because they're like, oh, if I kill the pet, it'll like have a big emotional reaction with the audience, and like, yes, but it was unnecessary to kill the pet. Like
Yeah,
right.
you
Yeah,
know,
it's kind of like cheating.
it feels cheap to
I
me.
guess
It
that's
always
fair.
does.
Because to me, the pet always represents the most innocent of the whole thing. Like, it's
Right.
just
Well, that
there
too, and-
to show love, and then you kill it. It's like, well, that was simple. Of course, I was gonna feel bad for the dog dying.
Well, because
Yeah.
like, you don't have to develop a dog.
Yeah.
You know, like a dog, like
The
you
dog is
automatically
cute.
get sympathy.
And you put your own kind of like,
Right?
my
Unless
dog,
it's
oh.
Cujo, you're already attached
Yeah.
to the dog.
Like I said, it's kind of cheating because like to get a sympathetic kill out of a person, you have to develop them, and they have
Yeah.
to be funny and charming and likable or whatever, you know,
There
whatever
has to
they
be
are.
something to lose.
But you have to write it, you know. Whereas a dog, you're just like, there was a dog, it died, and like that's what I mean. I'm like, he had a dog. his dog died. Like, you're already sad. You don't even know anything about that.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
You know?
Yeah, if you go like, his grandfather died, well, that's sad.
You're like,
That's really
everyone's
sad.
grandfather dies. That sucks. I'm sorry. You know.
But his
But,
dog
But
also.
the dog died. Oh, come on. What did it do? What happened? He got hit by a car. Come on.
puppy. You know, like,
I mean, like, there's never really a dog that deserves to die or pet
Yeah.
of any kind.
Right.
You
there's
know,
no evil
so-
dogs.
There's
you
no
know.
dogs except for
Right.
Cujo.
And if they are,
but
they're probably
that's it.
sick. You know, like
or
Cujo.
Or Cujo, like,
Yeah.
yeah, geez.
And that's why.
He had rabies. That's
Exactly.
just sick. You know.
Yeah.
And that's why, as an homage to Hedwig, that owl lamp on my desk behind you, that white owl lamp, is named Hedwig.
Oh, nice.
One of your 14 owls.
Which I was pointing out to him.
accoutrement.
I was like, I think Gina has a thing for owls.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's like a neo pornographic thing for owls.
This is going sidebar, but you know how like you start to like a thing, and then
Yeah.
it
It takes
becomes
over your
known,
life.
and everyone buys it for you. Like none of the owls you see in here, I have bought for myself. But it's kind of just like a banner thing, I guess, where people are at a gift giving occasion. They're like, "Oh, Gina likes owls. So I have owl piggy banks and owl lamps and
Right.
owl everything." But
That's true. They're not. You didn't buy them.
I didn't buy
Someone
them.
found out Gina liked
Oh,
owls,
okay.
and it's like the go-to gift for her. You know. It's
Right.
like-
right,
we were kind of talking about that one time. It's like,
Yeah.
So if I say I love having $100 bills,
That would be your thing.
that'd be my
Right.
thing. People
I
send those
love
in.
money.
I love money. And they're like, well, okay. It seems cute.
here's a box of chocolate. That's what?
Oh, it's a box shaped like a dollar bill. Like, fuck.
Not what I
$100.
meant.
It's a dollar bill chocolate.
I don't want
That's
fake
$100.
dollar things, not dollar shaped.
So we have some Harry Potter related Twitter questions we've been getting.
Do we?
Yeah.
All
What?
Would
bring
you
it
like
on.
to hear some?
How many have we gotten?
Quite a few.
I'll be damned.
Okay, this one jumped out at me, and I thought it was really funny.
Okay.
Okay, so this is from Denise Said What,
Oh, sweet.
He said,
Hey.
"What?"
and she actually threw a couple questions out. But
Nice.
This one is, which of the Weasley men would you date? Like, if you had to, the guys have to answer. You have to date a
The guys
Weasley.
have to answer?
Son of a-
Fred and George.
Nice,
Yes.
right here.
Oh, damn.
Three-way. It's not gay in a three-way.
All the time.
Two funny ginger twins. I'm in.
You can't cheat in the same person when they look exactly the same. You know?
Plus, they'd
I
be
thought
fun.
it was you.
That was you.
Plus, they'd be a hoot.
I thought you guys shared.
No,
things.
I would say Fred or George. That would be my serious answer.
Fred
Who's
or
the one who
George.
trains dragons?
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Because he trains fucking dragons.
That is pretty hot. That's
wasted. You know,
do you want to
What are you
take the
doing all
car,
day?
or do you
I was
want to
working
take the
on
dragon to work?
What do you do? Like, here, come ride with me. You know, and it'd be like, I can show you the world. But with fireballs. You know, like,
It's
so
a
it'd be a
never-
beautiful thing, but he could be eating shit.
I would play like never-ending story theme song while we're flying.
Fucking luck.
That was a great visual, Justin. Thank you.
Was it?
You and a red-haired hunk.
You and Weasley.
Watch, of all the things that we ask people to draw, that's the one that happens.
That's
Son
gonna
of
be
a
the
bitch.
What about you, Nate? You can't say Charlie.
Let's see. The joke one would be, I guess, Ron, because he has such personality issues. He's
okay.
really insecure. I can control him really easy.
Nice.
You can overtake him.
I can take him. I
You
can make him my bitch.
manipulative bastard.
Yep, I can just he'll do whatever I say.
Bitch.
I'll just,
You ball-busting bitch.
I'd say, oh, you're way better than Harry. He's like, oh.
Hold on, just
make me a
clarify.
sandwich.
Denise did say men, right?
Yes,
Because
Weasley man.
fuck.
No,
Weasley
it
man.
didn't say Weasley. It said Weasley. We're all like, Jenny! Molly! Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I would say Bill Weasley. Because he's the fucking badass Weasley.
Yeah, he's got
True.
the. I'm kidding about Ron.
Like he's, you know,
Is it Ron? Let's clarify
Bill.
it.
It's
It's Bill.
Of course it's Bill. Because here's the thing, like, in the movie they do it a little, but it's better in the book. Because, like,
Yeah.
they mention it. He has long hair, and he has, like, an earring, and he wears, like, boots. And he's, like, the fucking cool Weasley. Plus,
the
he's,
cool
like, the
Weasley.
Gringotts fucking, he's, like, the Gringotts badass.
He's so good. He got
Yeah.
some like foreign exchange student from never even met him. Was like,
Yeah.
oh, good married.
Listen, he pulls down the hot French
what's
chick. Like,
up.
Bill is the cool Weasley.
Bill,
And
Bill
so,
is super cool.
he's
I
the
like
sexy Weasley.
I like Fred and George because they're funny.
Yeah.
I need goofy funny
and they're
guys.
really running a good business. He's making a lot of money.
as
see that?
evident by my fiance. I like funny guys.
Funny guys.
I'm pretty funny.
But and they're also like very confident and stylish.
Hashtag humble brag.
And they have a profitable business.
Yeah.
True. And you know what?
True.
They were the,
Entrepreneurs.
and
Yeah.
they were the first to go fuck you, Umbridge.
Yeah, that's right.
I know.
In a
See,
really
I like
awesome
that.
way. That was really like they are.
Little bad boys. Yeah, a little bit in
Bad boy
there.
in
A
there.
little
Bad
bit of bad
boys
boy
for
in it, but not like, oh, I can't take care of you and the kid. I'm gonna go off and go on tour, bad boy. You know?
Yeah.
Well, and they dropped out of school. Right?
Yeah.
But they
Right.
still have a
They're
successful
making
business.
their own
Right.
business.
They're like Bill Gates.
Yeah. There you go.
Except
Right on.
attractive.
They are really cool. No, they are really cool.
No.
Really, you can't go wrong with any of the Weasleys. You think about it.
Not really. You're
No.
set up.
You're
Well,
pretty
Percy.
Percy, no one said Percy because
douchey.
For a little bit.
For a
one
reason.
quick thing.
What a
Was he
bitch.
mentioned at all in the
He's
books?
in it.
I've totally forgot.
In the books,
and
Yeah, in the
movies?
books, yes.
In the books, they go into the whole how his
Oh,
like
yeah.
screwing of the Weasley family was really affecting him. In
Yeah.
the movie,
Right.
like you see Percy, he
You
never
see,
talks.
that's right. He's just
They don't talk about
So,
him.
yeah, he is the bitchy betrayer.
Going back to the flick, what were your final thoughts on it?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Let's see. I dug it. That was really well done. There's some stuff that was kind of like it's in a way it's not not even its fault.
Right.
Like there was things I was kind of annoyed about. Like now we're getting to the Snape thing about being in love with Lily. Thank you. Finally, we should have already been
that was
here.
probably the best scene in the movie.
It was an excellent scene. Should have been built on even earlier, I think. For me, but that's me. That's me. It's because I felt that's
Well-
annoyances from other you left this thing out. Now someone else has to carry the weight of fixing it later. So it kind of bugged me in a more past tense kind of thing.
It's also kind of in the book, though, because in the book, she tries to keep you guessing if Snape is good or bad. Whereas the whole, love affair with Lily is, makes him good.
Yeah, because
So-
they play really good with it. That maybe he's like, maybe he did it because Lily didn't choose him, and he's happy to see her getting fucked over like that, and like your whole
Right.
family, fuck him. But
Yeah.
no, it's a great scene. I think it's a beautiful scene. It's just it felt like a lot of it had to get shoehorned in, and that's just annoyances. Annoying. It's not even the movie's fault. I'm not even.
No, it's not the movie.
That one movie, the last one, the part 2, very well done.
That's not
Like
annoying.
they fixed on things. Wow, just like hit.
Can I just for a brief moment? Can I get into car alarms? It'll be real quick on this one. If you have a car alarm, fuck you. There.
Yeah.
Like
No
why-
one comes to see your car.
Why?
When it's going off.
I'm not for outlawing shit. Like I'm generally a freedom kind of guy. We should outlaw car alarms. They're nothing but a nuisance.
Well, people don't check them.
No one checks them.
Because they go off all the time. Now what's the point?
Well, like,
Yeah.
this person...
We've trained ourselves to stop listening to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Our response right now, wasn't like, oh man, someone's car's getting broken into. It's like, fuck car.
It was like I hope the guy who owns that has testicle cancer. Like that pisses me off to no end. God, I hate car alarms. Sorry.
Well, and it's because it's not like that car alarm. I don't know if you can hear it on the thing, but there's
can
a
hear it.
car in this complex, and I think it's the only one with an alarm, and it's at least twice a day that happens. And I'm like, so it's not getting broken into.
okay.
It's like an
Well, that's even
old ass
worse.
car.
It's like an awful car.
Yeah. And no one's taking that on, Friday at 1 in the afternoon, broad daylight. Like, it's just stupid.
We once had to go off for like an hour at 3 in the morning. I went down and tried to do something about it. Like that's
Yeah.
how because no one was even trying to turn it off.
No, that is pretty bad. So I was saying, there's some stuff about the movie that's not even the movie's fault. Just like I'm just annoyed about past tense stuff. But all in all, the last one was really good. It was really solid. There was a lot of really good moments. Like seeing the almost just simplicity of seeing all these dead people that he loved. Seeing Sirius and seeing his parents and everyone. It's just. I liked it in the movie almost more than the book, I have to say, because I liked the simplicity of it. It's just like, it's no big deal. We'll be here.
Right.
They downplayed it so much that it even meant more to me.
Emotional was even higher.
Yeah, it's just like, no, we're never gone. So silly. Why do you think we're dead? No, we're not. We're not gone. It's like, oh wow, that's really it meant more from the movie. I remember that scene really affected me. I was like, that's really beautiful about that one. And
That's
then
insane, yeah, totally.
and then just the showdown. Like we've already said, so downplayed in the movies and in the books that the movie just did it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's vicious. It's like these guys are trying to tear each other apart. It's the last time they're going to get a shot.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
have a chance to kill each other.
Yeah.
Like, one will have the upper hand at some point. It's that moment. It's now or never.
Like-
And it's like, and it was nice and brutal. Or they're not just doing wands, but it's just like, I'm going to punch your head in. It's like,
To
it's watching
compare,
Soul God.
like to compare, like epic battle I saw in one movie from another movie this summer. Like I saw Transformers 3. I know. And
Okay,
the last
we're gonna
hour,
bring that in here.
the last hour is like an hour of action and epic. But I got so numbed and bored by the middle of it. Like, it just felt like noise, which is shocking. Which is not that shocking because it's a Michael fucking Bay movie.
Sure.
But it felt like noise.
That
And
man deals in noise.
Yeah, and I just stopped giving a shit.
Noise.
Whereas in Harry Potter Part 2, it felt epic because they knew how to make it feel epic.
Yeah.
That didn't feel like noise. It felt like you saw the moments, they slowed down at the right moments to get you like see that this is horrible, but they sped up at the right moments to feel the visceral action that is entertaining to see. So that's the movie. That's where it works as a movie in the final big epic battle for there in Harry Potter Part 2.
Yeah.
That's where that succeeded, and I completely agree with you on that. Yeah.
So I really like it. I really like the second one. So what about you?
I liked it a lot. It's interesting for me because like the Harry Potter movies for me, I've always felt at best neutral to all of them. I never hated one more than the other.
Mhm.
I've always liked all of them, which is funny because like whenever I hear hardcore Harry Potter fans who are more intense,
Sure.
they're like you didn't read the books, and I'm like, well, I read the first two. Well, those are the worst ones. Okay, what can I win?
You can't.
What do I do for you?
What do you
Not
want?
against those
I
fans,
am
you
liking
can
the
never
thing
win.
you like.
Right.
And then I acknowledge that I've read the thing that you want me to read, and you still complain I'm not instant to
Well,
it. As
and you even acknowledge that you read it and you liked it.
Yeah.
Like,
Whatever.
what else the fuck do you want?
But no, like, I've always liked the movies
They want
equally.
the same fervor from you. That's what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want.
I always like the movies about the same thing, but mostly
Nothing in
just,
the mouth.
it was just cool about the movies, seeing them from the first to this one, is just like, the fact is that it seems like it's one of the few film franchises that I can think of where it felt like it's the most consistent. Where I felt like this is the same, it's not like, they didn't have the weird one where they went to space.
Yeah.
There's
There's no leprechaun in the hood.
There's no leprechaun in the hood in this one. They didn't, because obviously they have a strong foundation to take from.
Right.
So they had the opportunity to not go weird with it. And I can never think of another film franchise that has that.
No.
There's very few, if ever.
Any long-running film franchise gets fucking weird.
Yeah, by the third one.
Usually by the third one.
Yeah, and so that's sort of a special thing about the Harry Potter movies, is in the film spectrum. You have these 8 movies that are more or less done by the same people. And you have the same cast, so you actually get to see them grow, which is fucking rare.
Yeah.
And
And to good actors, too.
they're good
Which
actors.
is-
They turned out to be good.
yeah, which could have went completely the other
People
way.
shit on the Chris Columbus movies a bit, and I feel it's a little unfair.
It is unfair.
Because I think Columbus did
Exactly.
what he had to do. And the first 2 movies are exactly the first 2 books.
Yeah, they're Harry Potter. And it's one of those like, because whenever someone complains, it's just like the books. The books are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why
The
is
thing
that
that you're
a bad
bitching
thing?
about, and that you also be a fan of,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing that people will, one thing I'm glad, I think that has to be stressed about Columbus's job in the first 2 movies is he casted,
Oh, man.
found
Yeah.
Daniel
That's
Radcliffe,
true.
Emily
That's a good
Watson,
point.
and Ron, and fucking like Rupert
was the
Grint,
And
dude.
Alan Rickman.
and Alan Rickman.
He was the most forward-thinking of almost all
Yeah.
directors, I would say. He went
Yeah.
in there and went like, these guys got to be here in a long time.
Yeah.
And McGonagall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
She's my
All
hero.
the actors
She's
you
awesome.
love pretty much, like the reoccurring ones,
Mhm.
are in that movie.
Yeah, like Columbus. That was Chris Columbus' job,
Yeah.
and he did it. So I hope that the hardcore fans of the movies will never forget that. That's the reason why we have them,
Yeah.
is because of him. Because he saw these 3 kids and went, "That's them,"
Yeah.
and and he had the faith that they will hopefully grow with the series. And that's the awesome thing. And I liked it. I like the last movie a lot. It's kind of like how I felt about at the end of Return of the King, where it's like I liked the first 2. Then when Return of the King ended, I went, "Wait, it's over?"
Yeah.
Like that was where I actually was like, no, wait, it's over now. You mean I can't get any more? And now I feel like the lost and the regret. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean?
Oh,
He's going to come back, right?
I love you, Darby.
Aw.
Oh, okay. Can I bring that up real quick? It's like the idea that like here's why J.K. did a better job than a certain He Who Shall Be Not Be Named in his prequels.
No.
She took a character that was incredibly annoying.
Yeah.
In one story.
Sure.
And then, and as opposed to a certain person who decided, well, they didn't like that character, I'm gonna ignore him.
Yeah.
She took that character and made you root for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's the power of this series.
Made it endearing.
Made it endearing. Yeah.
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 So no, I really fucking liked it. I was really happy with it. So there you go.
You go.
I also they did give most of the characters their moments that were in the book, and I was afraid that they might gloss over in the movie. But my 2 big ones that going into the movie, I said, these characters don't get the stuff they got in the book, I will be upset.
Right.
Like, I came into the movie knowing that Molly Weasley and McGonagall, who have awesome parts in the book, in the battle, they have to have that,
Right.
and they did both of them very well. I was really happy. Like, McGonagall, when she gets all the guards to
It's great.
to go around the perimeter of Hogwarts, and she's like, I've always wanted to do that spell, like.
Well, I also loved what she said. Like,
That's
his
adorable.
name is Voldemort.
Yeah.
Might as well say
It's
it's
gonna try to kill you
Well,
anyway.
and she sends the slit. She's like, Slytherin house, you can leave now. Like, everybody hates you.
Yeah.
You get the hell out of
See,
here.
that was kind of a bitch of mine. Because in the book, she tells the Slytherin, she's like, you guys, you can leave right now, or you can stay and fight. But if you leave and come back, we're dueling to kill. And she's basically like, we'll kill students. Like,
Right.
if you guys come back on the other side, don't expect protection from your teachers, you know?
Right.
Whereas in the movie, she was like, Slytherin to the dungeon, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas in the book, it was more like a moment of choice for Slytherin.
Making
it was
them
like,
adults,
yeah.
capable, like
Right.
with one decision. It's like, are you going to go be little bitches, or are you going to
bitches
stay and
or
fight?
stay
And
and
some left, and some stayed, you know? Whereas in the book, it was like, take them to the dungeon, which I thought was like, not racist. I don't know how you describe that.
Yeah.
Housist, you know?
Housist. Yeah, it was
that's
just kinda
not
like-
fair. Because
Didn't
there
you
were
just go
two
through this whole thing where it doesn't matter if you're what house you are?
Right, and there are two significant Slytherin characters that are completely heroic.
Yeah.
Okay, Slughorn.
Yeah.
He's not the most brave guy, but he's heroic.
He stayed and fought.
And fucking Snape, probably the most heroic character in the whole goddamn series.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like he
he
was
sold
Slytherin.
his soul.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's
true,
what I mean.
right.
But like he became, yeah, exactly. Like he was the big hero, really.
But I do like, you know, as a teacher, McGonagall is my hero. Like
She's
I
awesome.
want to be
She's
McGonagall when
Yeah.
I grow up. And so they've done in all the movies a really good job, like with Umbridge.
Yeah.
I love her exchange with
Oh.
Umbridge in that other movie. Like
Yeah.
there are things I'd like to say. Like they pay homage to her very well. And then I was happy with Molly Weasley because Molly is a lioness,
Yeah.
you know, and she has a lot of people to keep track of, and she's usually, you know, the homebody, unsung homemaker hero person, and now she's in the battle, and Bellatrix comes up to Ginny, and she's, you know, stay away from my daughter, you bitch, and I was like, yes, badass moment for Molly.
I'd say, I gotta say, that was... I heard that is that in the book?
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
They expanded it in the movie.
Let me just say, that's awesome. That was my favorite moment, too.
Right?
It's like, that's why you go to the movies.
Yeah.
That's when the
Oh,
audience
those
went...
shocking moments.
Yeah,
when you're like,
when she
what?
did that, the audience went, fuck yeah!
yeah.
I would say the smile was a little too much for me.
Yeah.
I think she should have just went like, you get in my way, you're dead. No, like no smile, just like, okay, go
Right,
on.
yeah.
It's right over. That's kind of what I wanted to approach it, but I can see that everyone wanted to like smile.
Because it's the movie moment.
It's the movie
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to go like, well, that's over. There's still other things going on.
I loved it, and it's clear that they respected the moment because they actually
Yeah.
expanded it.
Yeah,
Whereas
they
I was
expanded
worried
it.
they wouldn't do it. But
Right.
honestly, I think not expanding it would have served it better. Because, like, they turned into like this little mini fight,
Right.
but it wasn't like a very good mini fight. It was just
Right.
sort of
They
like
had no
them
history
cracking
against
shit at
each
each other. But like the way they describe Bellatrix is she's like second to Voldemort.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
she's a badass. Like in Order of the Phoenix, the book.
Right.
Dumbledore
took out-
duels her for a second, and she gets away from Dumbledore. Like she's managing to block him and get away. You know. And so here's the thing: I love Molly. I don't think she would be able to fight Bellatrix. In the book, she almost kills Ginny, and Molly just jumps out. She's like, "Not my daughter, you bitch!" And just Avada Kedavra just kills her.
Yeah.
Just straight up
Quick, there was
murders
no
her.
duel. It was like,
Yeah,
done.
because like Bellatrix is
Gone.
like, ha ha, oh, and gets like fucking killed, you know.
Right,
and it was
right.
like because she underestimated her rage, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
which I
You
thought was a
don't
better
take after
moment in
my
the book
kid.
because it was like, that's my fucking kid, I'll murder you. You
Yeah.
Well, and especially since she had just lost a son.
Yeah.
She,
Oh, yeah.
she's
Totally.
like,
She's
this
boiling
is not
over.
happening again.
I'm not losing
Not in
any
front
more
of
kids.
Yeah.
More
Right.
kids.
And so again, in the movie, it was still a great moment. I have no
Yeah.
no real
Oh, yeah,
complaints.
still
Like I
good,
just I like it's one of those I liked it. I would have done it differently.
Right.
Because I did like in the books and then it was Avada Kedavra. It was like Jet, and then her dead body hit the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like
Bellatrix
"Hey,
been having all this fun time throwing that word around, and
Yeah.
no one doing it back to her as much.
Exactly, and now she's
so
like,
boom,
dead,
But-
you know?
But I'm supposed to be more badass. It's like, nope,
Yeah.
you don't
Whereas-
get it anymore.
Yeah. Whereas in the movie they did like the cartoon,
Yeah.
you can't kill off the villain so they explode, whatever that means, you know. And I was like, she should have just died. Like that would have been better.
Oh, real quick, talk about the Helena Bonham Carter thing about Hermione being Bellatrix, about that whole
Oh,
acting exercise she
Just
did.
real quick.
Yeah.
What?
You know how Hermione drinks a polyjuice potion and she becomes Bellatrix.
Yeah,
right.
Like, Helena Bonham Carter was
Yeah.
pushing this
apparently,
airplay. She's all like, oh.
apparently they had a hard time with all of those scenes because they were like, "Oh, you have to pretend to be." Oh, you have to pretend to be Hermione pretending to be you badly, you know? And so she's like, it's a tough
tall
one.
order.
You know, and so she's doing it, and so she's like, I'm not getting it. Like, she wasn't happy with it, and the director was like, yeah, I don't know. And so what they did was, they put Hermione in that outfit, like the
But
Bellatrix.
they got Emily in the
Yeah.
Emma
Yeah.
Watson to the
Emma Watson. And so what they did
pretend
was
to be
they
Bellatrix?
filmed all the scenes that Bellatrix done, I mean, like a dress rehearsal, in like every part where it's Helena Bonham Carter, it's instead Emma Watson. And they filmed all. They filmed at the beach. They filmed the bank with Emma Watson. They filmed all that.
Yeah.
And then they gave her the tape. They gave Helena Bonham Carter the tape, and they said, "Study it."
Yeah.
And so, apparently, when she came in, like, the next day or the next week or whenever they were filming, it was exact. Like, Helena Bonham Carter did it exact. And she said, I watched it like 100 times,
great.
and I practiced it.
I
and
want to
so,
see those
amazing.
tapes.
I
I
wanna
want to
see
see
those
those
tapes.
tapes
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Because
And so,
I was watching the movie. That's actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I was like looking, I was watching, I was going like, holy shit, she's fucking Hermione. She's like Emma
Right?
Hermione.
And she
Yeah.
took it
Watson.
seriously. Like, she, like, memorized it.
That's some hard acting.
Yeah,
to
because she was
do.
doing all the hair movements that she does, like all these kind of movements that, oh my god. like,
That's such a tricky.
insane.
That's an awesome thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's like Helen Bonham Carter is a fantastic actress,
Oh,
but,
of course.
but yeah, at some point you're gonna have like, I'm lost.
That's a
so
tough
you want
role,
me
man.
to be
Wait, who
Another
am I
character
now?
play someone-
pretending to be my character.
my character who's really over the top anyways to
Right.
begin with, but kind of probably Wow.
It kind of reminds me of like
She's
like,
processing 3 brains.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like-
Yeah.
like it kind of reminds me like when like even in the Men in Black, where like the Vincent D'Onofrio is playing Edgar, the
Yeah.
bug, and he's got to pretend to be a giant alien shoved into a man's skin.
Yeah.
And like I remember in like this behind the scenes thing, Will Smith goes like, "How do you train for that? like how's like
There's nothing like that.
nothing like you have to pretend like your body is like how do you? Where is your mindset for that?
And just her movements, her voice,
Oh,
like
dead
it's,
on.
it's dead
totally
on.
dead on.
You know,
Yeah.
and just like the when the random guard says, you know, Miss Lestrange and like nods at her, and she's like, "Good morning." Well, good morning. Oh crap.
You don't say.
Going back to McGonagall real quick.
Yes, sir.
If there was one cast member I was a little worried who wasn't going to make it,
I agree
She
the
was
whole
in the
time. Like, the
30
last
years.
couple of movies, I'm like, she does not look good. Like, I want her to do this last one, you know? I'm
it's
like,
like,
Make it,
Maggie Smith,
make it.
please.
yeah, I love you, Maggie.
I
Please
love
don't
Maggie
kick
Smith.
I
it.
need to see the end of Montgomery.
She's been old for like 40 years.
She has.
like, do you remember
Remember
Hook?
Hook? I remember
She
going like,
looked
man,
like she was
old.
gonna die. in
Sister
Hook.
Act and Hook. Yeah.
You're like,
she was
Sister
an
Act,
old
the-
lady.
There's also
My
one-
go-to Aunt May, might I add.
She would've been
when I was
great,
a young,
yeah.
when I was a
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
teenager.
She's been a
Yeah.
great.
There's also she's in Secret Garden, which I used to watch all the time
As
as a little
old
girl, and
as
she's like the
old.
old, you know, the headmistress type.
Some of these movies are 20 to 30
Yeah.
years ago.
So
by
she
the
just
way.
like maybe she like hit 60 like 100 years ago and then
it
just
all
stopped
went to
aging.
crap.
just
It's
slowed
like,
down.
dun-dun-dun.
That's what I mean. Like, she's been 60 for like 40 years.
maybe you know, she started to look old when she was like maybe she didn't age well. Like maybe
Yeah.
she's looked older
okay.
since she was 40.
She's like Liam Neeson.
Now I
Like,
wanna
she
see
had
pictures
white.
of her
He
in
had
her
white
20s.
hair when he was like 26.
Right.
You know.
Well, and Steve Martin too.
Steve
Like
Martin.
I didn't like for a long time I didn't believe Steve Martin ever had anything but like silver hair.
Yeah,
You know?
he didn't. I mean, he had like really light blonde hair, which looks like silver hair,
Right,
And
right,
then he
right.
had silver hair, so it was like
Just like dude,
he looks like he's had it forever.
Off-white to white.
exactly.
okay.
All right, so we have a special little thing for this Harry Potter episode. We like to call it the Nate. What do we like to call this one?
We like to call it the lightning scar round.
Oh,
Banana.
six.
6. We're gonna make it up to 7, so it'll be at least 7 books, 7 jokes.
Bobby, explain.
Well, we've gotten some Twitter questions, and we've had questions of our own, and so we'd like to combine them into a sort of lightning bolt scar round.
Lightning bolt scar round. Okay, all right.
Whatever, lightning scar. It's all stupid.
It's all stupid. It is.
And
it really is.
and
It
so
really is.
I will be asking a series of questions, and we will all be answering them to the best of our abilities. And they are Harry Potter related questions. Some of them are Twitter questions. Some of them are from Denise Said What, who has tossed in
Said
some
what?
pretty awesome questions.
Yeah,
by the way.
totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. First question
Go.
of the and we're gonna start with Nate,
Boom, boom.
the beard, Schultz.
the Haggard Beard Schultz.
All right. What is your wacky wizarding name?
Nathaniel Schulzenberger.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
Justin, what is your wacky wizarding name?
Jason Quizzle.
Quizzle, that does sound very, very Harry Potter world. Nice.
Could have gone with Quidditch too.
Quizzle the Quidditch player.
Gina, what is your wacky wizarding name?
I believe it's Jaina Willy Wyatt. I like
Willy
it.
Wyatt.
Willy White.
Willy Wyatt.
10 points for Gryffindor. Willy Wyatt.
Because you know you want 2 WYs in the same name, right?
Heck yeah.
Gotta happen.
Willy Wyatt.
All right, me. What is your wacky wizarding name?
Bobby,
That's a good question,
Ask
Bobby.
you. Oh boy.
It's Bobbin Johnswort.
Johnswort.
Wow.
Bobbin Johnswort.
Bobbin.
Bobbin Johnswort.
I like it.
Bobbin Johnswort.
Bobbin.
Bobbin Johnswort. The friendliest wizard I know.
He's so funny. He's gonna cast a hug spell on you.
Huggus Maximus.
Man, he cast the Huggus Maximus spell.
I wish I was like Jason Quizzle though. He's so cool.
He is cool.
It's like, ding.
Quidditch captain Jason. Quidditch.
And nobody likes Nathaniel Schulzenberger, the studious Ravenclaw. Stay away from me.
I don't know if you've read History of Magic.
It's very intriguing.
All right,
Next question.
Nathan Schulzenberger. Nathaniel Schulzenberg.
Nathaniel Schulzenberg.
What is your favorite book that you've read of the Harry Potter
Oh, that's tough.
epic series?
It's very, very
So
tough.
epic.
I would have to say the one that really, really stuck with me is Order of the Phoenix. I would say I really loved that one because there was very quick. There was two things that really were big. Sirius Black Death was very rough to read, and it really mattered to me because I really, really liked him. I liked how we were going with him, and then he killed him. It's like,
Oh, that's nasty.
And then the second reveal, this is a big one for me, was that Voldemort chose Harry Potter to be his rival.
Yeah, that he
Didn't even really think about it,
Yeah,
but he did.
he had to choose it. Essentially,
choose it.
Like the prophecy was, pick your enemy, bitch.
Pick your enemy, bitch. And he chose Harry Potter over Neville Longbottom.
Which would have been an interesting.
Would have been a
what
very,
if.
very what if world I would love to see. Like J.K. Rowling's drunk and writes a what if. What if Neville Longbottom was the big fucking guy?
Fuck it, I'm writing a book on Neville Longbottom and the Sorcerer's Stone.
So, okay, I did it.
Have you seen that shirt? It says Neville would have done it in 4 books.
Oh,
That's
That's
pretty
funny.
rad.
oh,
That's pretty cool. I want to see that. I want to see that shirt.
All right,
But
Jake,
yeah.
yeah. Jason Quistel.
oh shit! I only read the 2.
Well, you've read 2. What is your favorite of
Of the
those
two.
A chamber.
Oh, nice.
Chamber. Yeah.
What was the thing that really caught you?
Like I said earlier, just the way she described by the time I can see like it's not just like a kid's thing. She was describing stuff that like felt like I was feeling it. Like I went, ooh, that's good. You know,
Yeah.
like this is not Goosebumps I'm reading. You know,
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
God.
A cheap scare, but a really earned one. Yeah.
yeah, really earned scare, totally. Bobbins.
Well, my favorite book is.
Visiting the world.
I'm gonna agree with Schulzenberger.
Oh.
Order of the Phoenix is probably my favorite book because the whole series, as it started to build up, I remember saying like, the kids are great. It's really awesome, but as it started to get darker, I was like, I wanted to see the adults kick some ass. Because, like, what does an adult wizard look
Yeah.
like? Like, because the kids are
What
doing
did they
pretty
do?
well.
What's the big difference?
That's like, what is a bad, like, what is an auror? And so that book has, like, the adult good guys fighting the adult bad guys.
Yeah.
And, like, and you see Dumbledore and Voldemort have this epic battle, which is even, like, twice as good in the book than the movie. Like, the movie does an okay job of it,
Right.
but it's way better in the book.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's in the movie.
That's what I mean.
The movie was amazing.
It's all that in the movie, plus.
That
Like,
throwdown finally showed
they start
you.
animating
This is what-
statues, and, like, it gets fucking nuts, you know? It's just a much cooler fight.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I just finally got to see, like, what do the adults look like, you
Yeah.
know? And so that was... And just the whole, you know, them manning up and Harry Potter, like, forming this group of, like, essentially an army, which it was, you know? And, like, and it was the first time the kids, like, were active. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
like something happened to them. At the end, they teamed up after training in combat and went down to the Ministry to go save... Like, it was where the kids started taking over.
Yeah.
As like, not just like, Harry wanders into another wacky adventure, you know?
Boy, how's he gonna get out of this one?
Right, it was like, let's fucking go kick some ass, you know? And so I really enjoyed that.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay. Well,
What's your favorite book? Gina Willy Wire.
my favorite is actually also Order of the Phoenix.
Nice.
Well,
For-
fighter.
For the sake of, you know, not...
No, if it's your favorite, it's your
no,
favorite.
no.
your favorite,
I'll play. It's my favorite because of Dumbledore's army. However, I do also really like Goblet of Fire. The reason for that is because we get a lot heavier consequences, and you start to get the feeling that it's not only Voldemort who's against Harry, but there's a whole community of anti-Harry Potter people like out to get him. They put his name in there.
That
It's
is
a very
really interesting. That
hard,
was
you
really
know, like
interesting.
it's a death tournament, and Cedric. You know, it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
it's
that's,
really.
That was a shock.
And that was where I think you start to get, because here's this golden boy, never harmed anyone, totally innocent, you know, great student, great friend, all this stuff, and then you're like, oh, this is the type of world we're in.
Yeah.
Like
Where this guy gets murdered.
Yeah.
on a whim.
Yeah, and he wasn't like
Crazy
frozen
guy.
by a monster, or he fell
Yeah.
out of a Quidditch broom and he hurt
Straight
himself.
up, like
Yeah.
it's equivalent
Straight up
of,
murder.
of Voldemort walking up with a gun, just shooting him back the head.
Just a killer.
and not even thinking about it. You're like, blam.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get you, Harry. Like, you just
He
murdered.
just casually murdered a child, you know, and you're like,
Child.
wow.
I
You
guess,
know?
and there was also a lot, like, along with the consequences, there was a lot more of the magical community, because they have the other schools there, you know, so you kind of get more world building. I'll say because
Well, in the Quidditch tournament, there was all the Quidditch from different nations.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like, there was like an
From-
American
from-
school they walked by, and like you got to see more of the world. You know.
Right, and it's so like how they cooperate together, what they think of each other, and I mean, this is gonna be me being a girl, but I love the ball. I love the idea of a wizard's ball. It's just so
I think it looked pretty cool.
yeah.
Nice.
Though I have to say, real side note, I was like, I want to know more about the American ones because I'm American.
Yeah, me too.
Just like,
Can I please know?
listen, I get it, but we're here.
here too.
We're fans too.
We're fans too. I mean, you don't have to give like a whole book to us, but like a chapter.
I was even like the Bulgarians and the French got like
Yeah.
a book.
Yeah.
You know. Well,
Yeah, I was like, come on, give us America something.
Expelliarmus. I get it. This sounds cool in an American accent.
Yeah, I know. Expelliarmus.
Got a Boston accent.
Expelliarmus.
I put in
Alright.
my mash.
Patronus, alright?
Patronus is motherfucking ass.
Professor,
Professor.
Professor.
teach me about magic. That's Wizard Jam.
Harry departed.
Yeah.
Bad. Harry departed.
All right, Schulz and Berger. What is your favorite
Yes.
film in the Harry Potter film
Favorite
series?
film. I would have to say, like, the last one.
Order of Phoenix.
God damn
Order
it.
of Phoenix was amazing. It just completely captivated me.
No, seriously. Yeah.
Seriously, the last one. I really, really liked it a lot. The more I was doing it in my head, I was like, there's a lot of stuff that I really needed, and that really had a lot of that, what I wanted. And it might be because it's most fresh in my head, so that's one thing. But that one, and then the second place would probably be the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Nice.
It was just really cool and fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, last one I liked the most.
What's your favorite film?
That's damn same answer as Nate. It almost to the T too. Like I love, it's come to the point where I like a lot of them, but I can see myself really wanting to rewatch Deathly Hallows Part 2. Though I will say, Azkaban, I felt cinematically that was where that's where I felt like that director. I know he kind of said like in terms of adaptation he felt it was a little selfish, but as a guy who never read the book, like cinematically I felt like that was where the world started feeling more magical.
Yeah.
And it's like simple things. Like it's kind of like how it felt like if like there's this bit where they're walking into this bar and like this is like this guy who's cleaning up and he's just lifting his hands up to lift the chairs up.
Yeah.
And those are little details and I'm like, that's really cool. And I know that's the side of it. That's because of the director. Like make magic a normal thing in the world, but for us visually, we'll
it's
get
like,
it.
whoa.
That's really cool. But I think Harry Potter. I think Deathly Hallows. Oh, another thing I want to point out about Part 2. I do want to say it's like I'm sitting there because I never read the book. I'm going like, man, I hope they ride brooms at some point. I really was thinking like I kind of missed that. And then they're in the throne, like the room.
Yeah.
Fires come around them and they bump into something and they look down and I'm like, is it? And then all of them are flying brooms. Like, yes! Fuck yeah!
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Bobbins.
I think my okay.
I like all of them being
They're
the
all
nicest
my
wizard ever.
favorite. No, I'm gonna say okay. The one I tend to watch the most, and probably my favorite to watch, is Order of the Phoenix. But it might be because it just reminds me of the book.
Yeah.
They do a good job, but I actually do have a lot of problems with Order of the Phoenix, like because it's the longest book in the series.
Yeah.
It really is longest, and it's the shortest movie. And I've got a lot of problems with that in general.
Same
and they
here.
cut out so much. Like they cut out half of that book basically.
Yeah.
And so that bugs me, but it reminds me of the book. So every time I watch it, I almost fill in the gaps. So I really enjoy it. I think the best film is Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
Like it's again, I agree. Some of the problems with it really piss me off. Like why not just say that they made the map? That
Yeah.
the parents made the map.
Why not?
just say that he was an elk? Because you don't explain the climax of a movie.
Yeah.
Totally stupid.
When
Or
it comes out of nowhere, you're like, I don't know why.
why is there a stag? I don't understand. Like that was dumb. But as a film, it's very good. So it might be my favorite of the film.
Right.
But my favorite to watch is Order of Phoenix.
Right on.
I'm going to go ahead and say I like Goblet of Fire as a film as
Yeah, it's
well.
good,
I think
too.
the pacing is done really well. There's there are the serious consequences and there's a lot of funny little moments. And it's a good film. There are a lot of new characters, interesting in the ball so new venues, new characters, there's a maze, there's a whole, so that's exciting to watch and it has good pacing. But I would probably say I do like Order of the Phoenix as a film the best. It's just I love the Dumbledore's Army Room of Requirement scenes. They're just so
Yeah.
You want to be there.
Yeah, you do.
I guess that's what it is.
You'd be
It's
like, I
pure,
would've been
pure
Dumbledore's
escapism. I want to do that. I'm very.
Because you know what? In our head, we'd be Dumbledore's Army.
Oh, for sure.
Immediately.
Oh yeah.
Like
We
that.
all would have signed up.
Yes, I'm in.
Do it. Learn how to kick some asses.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah,
of
and
being a
so and that's when they really start to take charge. And I especially, not to be a total geek, but to quote Hermione, like, well, we're not going to get any proper instruction on it ourselves, so we might as well we need someone to teach us something about defense against the dark arts.
Totally.
Because we got Umbridge being a bitch up here.
Oh.
We can't do
Oh, and then
Probably one of the finest villains of all
I was
time.
going to say that
yeah.
was done
You
so well.
hate her.
Oh,
Hate
despise
her.
her.
when I saw I saw in the beginning of part 2, part 1 of Deadly, I was like, fucking fuck!
When he's
That's-
writing and it starts carving into his hand, when you're reading it, you're like, oh, you see it, so you're like, oh,
That's-
Umbridge, you bitch.
That's another thing about that movie. The scene where she's trying to kick out Trelawney
Yeah.
is just so great. Because it's, I mean, you get the whole dichotomy with the students and this tyrant of a administrator, and you're like, screw her. But then you get
That's like
the
Porky's,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah, but then you get the adult,
you
kind of
see
point of
the
view,
hate.
and she's trying to kick out Trelawney. She's like crying with all her suitcases there, and Fitch has got this, bitch ass smile on his face. And,
Right.
Damn Fitch.
Yeah, and so they have another Umbridge and McGonagall battle, and then finally, the big guy, Daddy comes home, and Dumbledore's like, you can't kick her off the grounds. Like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, it was a very good, I love that scene. It's such a powered struggle.
First time you finally see, the adults really do agree. I mean, the good adults do see
That's what I mean.
our
They're
logic,
part
too.
of it, too. It's
part
not
of
just
it.
It's a
like, I
scene
don't
of
like the
all
new
adults.
principal.
Yeah.
There's no kids in that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, they're physically watching.
Well,
but
they're
it's
around.
not about kids. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Harry Potter is great, and the kids are great, but like every ounce where you get the adult action, you're like, this could have been a good movie too.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
What house would you be sorted into if you put the floppy sorting hat on your head? Justin, give us the
Floppy
sorting
hat.
hat.
Put that floppy hat in your head.
What house would you like to be in?
I didn't realize the sorting hat was Richard Dixon.
I am not a crook.
I am not a fez.
The problem is we couldn't. The American one is all we could find.
Oh, of course.
So it's like, what do you mean? I don't know anything about the tapes.
I don't know anything about tapes. No, I just what?
I have to record you so I know what house you're going to be in.
Wait, what house am I? What?
What house would you like to be in? Put it on, Nate.
I put it on. I don't want it. It kind of smells
You
weird.
put the hat on.
It smells like cheese.
Or I'll put it on.
You smell like cheese.
No, I don't. Okay, so I would honestly, I think it'd be Hufflepuff.
House Hufflepuff.
Thank you, thank you, sorry, man. Thank you so much. I'd say House Hufflepuff because
Why do you feel you embody the traits of House Hufflepuff?
I'm not that smart. I mean, I'm not Ravenclaw. I'm just not that sharp. I mean, I'm not an idiot, but I ain't smart. I ain't gonna be like studious guy. I know that. And
I feel bad right now.
that's Ravenclaw, man.
I'm sorry.
Wow, really?
You need a hug?
You need a hug? I don't mean it in a bad way to other Hufflepuff people. I'm just saying that it's not, like, compared to Ravenclaw, I'd be like, there's a lot of studying in there that I just don't like.
Well, Hufflepuff is loyal, hardworking. Do you feel you?
I think I'm loyal and pretty hardworking.
Yeah.
And and they're the ones that don't get. I like the underdog. I always like the underdog myself. Hufflepuff kind of gets like, who cares, And then have Cedric, and he fucking dies, and it's like, okay.
But Cedric was badass.
He was very bad.
Yeah.
He was so badass that there was no one else better than him.
Well, he was the best Hogwarts champion.
Yeah.
Like,
He was like, okay, Archon. So you can have those
Degree?
moments of like badasses like that.
He was a
Edward
vampire.
Cullen. Yeah.
But I am.
Well, after he gets killed by Voldemort, he becomes
Became a vampire.
But I like the
And American.
I've always been a fan of the kind of every man underdog kind of like
Nice.
like house, and that'd be Hufflepuff, man. They're
Yeah,
kind of
nice.
like they're the blue collar, like okay, what's going on? Oh, Voldemort and Harry Potter
They're
doing
the
their shit
proletariat.
again. Possibly. Like we are one house. In this house, everyone works together to
The working
support
man's
the one house.
Yeah.
Not like those rich guys at Gryffindor and Slytherin.
That's awesome.
No.
Oh man.
But I've always been a fan immediately of the underdogs of the four. They're obviously like kind of like no one really gives a shit.
Sure.
So it's cool.
Nice.
That's how I roll.
Why don't you put this hat on?
Yeah.
Quizzle.
Put on the hat.
Oh,
Put me on.
Hold on.
Put me on your head.
Why are you muffled
Slide
now?
me onto your head.
Slowly.
Slowly.
So slow.
There.
Stop moving.
Ooh.
Stop moving.
This hat shouldn't work with children.
Yeah, I'm on I am on the predator list. You really
Just
shouldn't.
saying.
Well, its previous job was the groping hat.
It
So.
was. Put it on.
What
Tell me what you want, little boy.
I think you kind of say it. Like I think probably, and not to cheat off of Nate, but I think Hufflepuff's
Oh, really?
quite close to me.
Oh, okay.
Closer to me. Yeah, but like
You're
yeah.
best friends in Hufflepuff.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Not. I don't know. I think because like I thought about Ravenclaw. I like just the name is cooler.
Yeah.
Name is awesome.
Like
Very
fuck
cool.
yeah, I'm a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
But then truthfully, I'm like probably personality. So I'm a Hufflepuff. Bobby.
I think I'd actually be Gryffindor. I really do.
Gryffindor!
Gryffindor!
Like, I tend to take stupid risks. I tend to, like when that lady was like, help! Like, I charged out there. Like, I'd probably...
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably...
I'm going to have to hear about that story in a bit.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Okay.
What house would you... Oh, hold on. Let's get the hat. Give me the hat.
Oh, the hat, yeah.
no.
Sorry.
Hello. Oh, a girl.
Ooh,
That's
ooh.
new.
Ooh, much
I've been dealing with
sexier.
that.
smells lovely.
Sexier scalp.
I wish they all smelled like you.
You know I give great hat.
It's like there's 3 hats and each equally different. Which one?
I actually,
You'll decide.
I feel like I would be in Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw!
Ravenclaw. And that's, not to out-geek myself, but according to the various personality quizzes I've taken on the subject, there were a couple Gryffindors, but the average was Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw? Whoa.
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. It's this hybrid.
How long a fan have you been?
It's when Hufflepuff
I
and
just-
Ravenclaw have a baby.
But no, I wouldn't
Ravenpuff.
characterize myself as terribly brave. Like, when there's a necessity, but not like, I'm gonna go out there and like, I'm not risky.
Right.
You know? But I do, I don't know, I just identify the most with,
Well, they're very academic. I mean,
yeah,
you
I'm
know,
more,
you've gone
I'm
through college
structured,
completely, you're a
academically
teacher.
inclined, yeah.
No. Academic inclined. Hey, Ravenclaw sounds cool too. The colors are awesome.
Yeah,
Blue.
colors
Yeah,
are awesome.
favorite.
Colors are very flattering on me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that has a lot to do with it.
Blue vanity, doesn't
Plus,
it?
you get to be in the same house with Luna Lovegood, which would be a fucking party.
That
Oh,
would be
man.
really fun.
Yeah.
But like, you
And
know,
Cho Chang.
they
Luna
solve.
Lovegood.
I would say Gryffindor solves by doing, and Ravenclaw solves by thinking
With the
more.
old
you know,
noodle.
the old noodle. So I feel like that's how I approach
Yeah.
most problems.
Nice.
Nice. Was that a Twitter question, by the way?
That was not a Twitter
That's
question.
not a question.
No.
My bad.
That was just one we came up with.
Yeah. Oh, what do you feel your Patronus would be?
Gina.
Yeah.
Patronus.
With Jaina Willy Wyatt.
Gina. Willy Wyatt.
Probably a horse.
Alright, and the horse.
Yeah,
Nice.
pretty badass
I could see,
Patronus.
you know, like,
Yeah, that'd be
and
really
not like
badass.
a horse, not like pony or unicorn.
stallion.
Fighting Dementors with ponies would be awesome. Pony! They're like,
Wait until my answer.
But yeah, they're noble, they're loyal, they're a little majestic. I think that would be it.
Right on. I like that.
I think my Patronus would be, and I got it on Facebook, and the more I was thinking about it, I was like, actually, that'd be pretty cool. Because originally I thought like bear, because that's like my totem.
Yeah.
Like, I think of myself as a bear,
Oh, darn.
the animal.
Are you sure? What if you change your
Do you
mind? You
know?
want to get?
Well, anyway, because like I'm
very
usually
well in
pretty
the bear
relaxed, and I like eating, and I like doing nothing. But then, like when I get mad or when whatever, I become crazy.
Yeah.
And I like to eat fish right out of the river. So
Yeah, I've seen that. It was
I
kinda
feel I'm
odd.
very similar to a bear. But and I was like, a bear Patronus is like that's like too badass, you know, because
Right.
they're not like that. They tend to be like fairly cute animals, you know.
So what are
Yeah.
you?
I think I'd be a fox.
A fox?
Because it's like smart, it's quick, but my dog looks just like a fox.
Yeah,
Yeah, Luna
Luna's
does
like
look-
a little white fox.
She's even
Yeah.
like
Oh,
very,
you dog.
Oh, you're the dog.
we actually did name her Luna after Luna Lovegood because
Right
she's
on.
white, like very like because you know Luna Lovegood has like
She does.
platinum
White blonde.
blonde
Yeah.
hair, you know, and so Luna has the same like white hair, but she's really dopey,
Right.
and she's kind of silly and goofy like Luna, and so.
Right on.
But I'd say fox, Patronus fox.
Right on.
Rock on.
I haven't really thought of it through, so
Oh.
I'm trying to figure it. Okay, I really don't
Be a
know.
dragon.
So
Dragon Patronus. I think we.
Dragon with a huge dick.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So one. Okay, Gina, you give me one. I'm curious.
Oh,
throw
boy.
one at me.
Muskrat. No.
Okay.
Never mind. Fuck it.
Change my mind.
Jeff,
No,
Jeff
Badger. Mine's a badger.
Badger. It's a badger.
Jackal. It's a jackal. It's a jackal. It's not a jackal. First and
Yeah, give me one.
Okay.
Justin Quizzle.
For Quizzle, what do you
He's
think?
who is a Hufflepuff.
Interesting.
Interesting. Hold on. I have to.
We'll
you
get
have
back
to
to you?
give.
We go
Yeah,
next.
come back to me.
Right, Nadie,
give me
go.
a moment.
Oh, what?
She's singing. So
I'm thinking. I'm
So my
considering.
Patronus?
yes.
Oh, okay, there we go. My Patronus, I like to be a little different. I'll go with Flying Squirrel.
Nice.
Nice.
I think that'd be pretty awesome.
I like it.
I like knocking down these insanely dangerous creatures with one of the most cutest little like, ah! And they're like, oh, like running away.
Because the
Like, hell
reaction's
yeah.
like, the hell? What the fuck? And then it
Yeah,
covers
like,
it.
what? And people are looking at me. I'm going like, yeah, I'm confident in myself. I'm confident
Flying
size of my
squirrel soaring
penis.
majestically through death. You know?
I got
I like,
this covered.
I like the visual myself. I like
Right
the
on.
dichotomy of something so cute and completely unscary in any other way, beating these things. I like that idea.
Well, I guess what I'm thinking of for you is some kind of bird,
was
but like a
thinking
big,
okay.
not like a little chickadee.
I can see
thing,
a bird.
but like a like a big like a hawk maybe.
Penguin.
Can I be a falcon?
Falcon would work. I
That'd be
could
a
see
good
falcon.
Patronus.
Yeah,
Falcon.
Pretty cool.
Falcon.
Nice.
Boom.
Good Patronus.
Sweet.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You got the kick-ass Patronus there.
All right.
It's pretty rad.
Ours can fly together.
Yeah.
Okay,
You go
now,
like, it's a falcon and a flying squirrel. Heck yeah!
now we're gonna drop into teenage girl fan fiction territory.
Woo!
All right.
Which Harry Potter character either do you have a crush on, or do you think would make your best, like, you'd love to date that Harry Potter?
Okay.
Like, they're you all over, or you like them to be all over you.
You all over them, all over you.
More
Did I
accurately.
not say Charlie Weasley?
Have we not covered this ground already?
No. That's
It's still Bill Weasley.
Still
All
loses.
Nate,
All right.
who do you dig? Who whittles your wand?
Nice.
Wow.
Bring it back.
It's a cross between Hermione and Luna. Like I said, straight up.
Good choice.
I like that Luna thinks different. I enjoy that. I would always be curious what the whole Spike and Drusilla dichotomy. I kind of like I don't really know what you're talking about all the time. But
You would not be bored.
I would never be bored, and I'd always be intrigued and always be like, that's an interesting way to look at it. So, the more I think about it, Luna looked good. I really like her.
Fuck her, that's my answer.
That's why we'll have a wizard war.
That's why I'm already thinking of a new one because Luna was my answer. I was like, I'm gonna think of a new one.
Jeez.
Okay, to make it easy, I'll change to Hermione.
No,
I do think Hermione.
You came first.
I like how
fair.
smart. I like how smart Hermione is.
No, but pick. That's
Do it.
good. But no, what's the name of the? But pure like attractiveness.
Yes.
In the Goblet of Fire, she actually became
The
Fleur
French one.
Florida.
Yeah. Like the Frenchies.
Well, she is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
She's gorgeous, yeah.
She's very
So by pure just look.
You say Fleur.
And she's got a French accent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but
Hello,
Luna.
Hello, Chelsea. Quizzly or Quizzle?
I'll fucking melt.
Twizzler.
I'll fucking melt like Ron. I know.
He kind of yelled at
I
me.
don't know.
Said yes.
Damn it. Pick Luna. I'm like, I'll pick Luna because that's kind of weird. No one else will pick Luna.
No.
That's my brain.
Are you kidding
All
me?
three
Are you
of us
kidding me?
fuck.
Immediately.
all
She's much
over
more. She actually helped them more than almost anyone else.
Yeah.
Well, she's cute as a button.
Right.
And she's crazy, and crazy's awesome.
Right.
Crazy. Crazy's adorable.
Somebody outside of Luna.
Okay, I've got a couple. I'm gonna have to. Okay, Luna because she's crazy.
Yeah.
I do like a brainy chick, so Hermione's kind of cool. I think
Yeah.
But and this is gonna sound really lame. I kind of like Ginny.
Ginny.
Really?
Yeah, well, because she's kind of like take no shit.
Yeah.
She's kind of a badass.
Right.
It's very powerful.
Very hot tempered,
Mm-hmm.
but also like
So Gina or Jeannie? I didn't hear what you said.
that's why.
Hey!
I was thinking about Ginny, and I was like, she's
Gina.
pretty much
I don't remember Gina.
Gina,
White.
really.
Gina.
And so I was like, yeah, okay. Ginny.
Same initials too.
Plus redheads. I like redheads.
Oh, same initials. Look
Wow.
at
G-
you. Did not
GW.
put that
Right
together.
Hell yeah.
Subconscious
Alright.
like.
There you go. Subconscious
All right,
mind.
so that
coming
one.
through.
There you go. Enjoy that one, Freud.
Okay, I guess
I have a bevy of men to pick.
Yeah, you have like a lot.
Okay, well, I wasn't kidding when I said Fred or George. Like,
good choice.
Right,
they're
right.
funny,
Yeah.
they're successful. I would love, as far as a long-term thing, I would love to be part of the Weasley family.
True.
No shit.
That's
You
a
know,
big family. That's a big family.
But since we've already touched on that answer, and I do have tons of men to choose from,
As usual.
Yeah,
I would
as
say,
usual,
hello.
The woman's life. Just choose any as.
Gina and Mad Eye, heart over.
That would be awesome.
Not
That would be
so, I'd feel safe, I guess, but,
Okay, sorry. Really.
no, serious.
Oh,
Serious one.
good
Ah,
choice.
Oh.
He's got
Serious,
the older,
serious.
sexy guy
Yeah.
thing going.
Well, he's
and
kind of like reckless and kind of like crazy.
he takes no shit, and he's kind of a badass, but also
Right.
smart.
Totally.
Not like yeah, oh god,
Wait, is it too late to change my answer
Bobby
to
Black?
Bellatrix?
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Wild.
Good
That's
choice.
the Luna opposite
Now that's-
direction.
That's Luna at times.
That's when you want
1200.
Luna to like hit you with a whip and
Yeah,
stuff, you know.
she's-
Well, usually,
Right.
like, not a long term, you just want a date.
Oh no, like bang.
If you
Oh,
can
hell
survive
yeah,
the
Bellatrix.
date, yeah, it would
If
probably
you
work.
survive, what a tale.
What a
But
tale.
serious is good call.
You'd be sitting there in Order
Yeah.
Phoenix
Serious
going
is a
like,
good call.
you know,
I
I
would-
went on a date with Bellatrix once. They're like, what the fuck?
What's
yeah.
that like?
What do you think it
It's
was
like
like,
fucking
mate?
a panther.
It was fucking a panther.
Crazy.
It was gonna kill you or not. You don't even know.
But going back to the serious, yeah. good
Well,
call.
and he's he's very loyal because he's separated from his whole family because he knew that
That takes
these are not the
guts.
people that
Right.
I want to be around, and so like I think he's one of those people that once you're in his life, you're in,
Yeah.
you know, and he doesn't take that for granted. And so
Yeah, he's
that
Godfather
would
for a
be
reason.
like very appreciative and grateful. Like that's a good, you know, a good thing to have in a
How
relationship.
many blacks have been Slytherin,
Yeah.
Gryffindor, Slytherin? Whoa,
Whoa,
what?
Yeah, exactly.
Go back one?
Yeah.
You did what?
Slytherin?
That's I can
Nice.
see that.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got tattoos.
Also,
Yeah, he's got- yeah.
there was. I mean, I've already
He can turn
said
into a
3,
dog, so, you know, you have a dog at all the time.
but there's also a little hint of James. James is. I mean, you don't get as much of him, but
He's kind of an
James-
asshole, though.
A little bit.
Yeah.
No, he's kind
I
of...
guess
He
yeah,
learns a lesson, but
No, he
it
gets
takes a long
better.
time.
but-
Right. Sirius is the better version.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree.
Sweet.
Asshole in a good way.
All right.
This is a Twitter question
Twitter question.
from Allie Schulz from Snally.
Ellie, hi Ellie.
Do you think the last Harry Potter movie made it seem like Snape was Harry's father?
They did feel like they were kind of hinting similar.
It was more... Yeah. Like, in the movie, it was kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
I think if you hadn't read the book, I could see how that would
Yeah.
It
lead
would
you
look
there.
like that a little bit.
However, I think it was more like because Dumbledore. There's a scene in that whole flashback in the Pensieve where Dumbledore's like, "Well, you're not actually caring for him, are you? Like, for Snape caring for Harry." And so I think that's probably what led a lot of people to that. But I like that because if you know he's not his father, like
Right.
it's surprising because the whole time Harry's at Hogwarts, Snape is like, you know,
He hates him.
he
It seems like
hates
he
his kid, you know. And so it was cool to hear that from Dumbledore, like spoken in private. And like,
Yeah.
well, do you actually care for this kid? Like, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I can see the movie did it. The movie did make it look a little ambiguous, but
No, Hetty. I.
called it Snape.
Yeah, but just
But
like
no,
they're always talking about how much he looks like James,
Yeah.
and then also how much he looks like Lily. So
Yeah.
it's not even a possibility.
Right.
Yeah, and really, the more you follow it, it's just kind of like, no, it wouldn't be a tragic relationship then. If
It's
he
a better
got with
story
her
if
ever.
he's not the father.
He never got with her. He
No.
never even got a chance. He was supposed to. Had a chance, really.
Right.
Yeah.
You follow it back. I mean, he had a chance for a little bit.
But he got all pissed off and
He got
angry.
pissed
Like,
off
so
and
he, like
angry.
he ruined it. you
Yeah, he
know?
ruined it. He knows he ruined it. That's the thing that ruined
And like,
hurts
and
him.
once you see in the flashback that she's sorted into Gryffindor, you're like, oh, well, there it goes.
Yeah.
You know, like that's pretty much
Yeah. It's
the
easy for
beginning at the end.
it's easy for Snape to hate Harry if it's like he's got it in the mother's eyes, but he looks like that motherfucker, that
Yeah.
goddamn
Yeah.
bully
Fucking
asshole.
Every time you looked at him, you
Every time you look at him, he's like,
oh,
oh, you look like that guy.
No,
Which is not fair. I
Right.
think. I was
No,
like,
totally.
that's not fair. He's a kid. Come on.
it's not his fault.
That's not his fault, man.
This is from Denise said what?
So,
What?
Again. Second
Denise
question.
Francesca. If Ginny, Hermione, and Luna had superpowers, what would they be? And what would their superpower or super team name be?
Team name. Okay.
The all-girl magic squad.
Sorry.
I would think Luna would have to have like the psychic powers.
Some kind of brain powers.
It's
Yeah.
some kind of brain, kind of like loopy power that it kind of helps explain why
I can see that.
she's all like.
And then Hermione.
Hermione could be like what were you saying?
I wasn't saying.
Oh, Hermione could be like you could go two ways with Hermione.
Yeah.
She could be like the Iron Man. Like maybe she has like super technology powers. You know what is
She's
it
really
called?
smart. Like she can build shit.
Right. So she would have like like gadgets and shit. Because Hermione seems like she's always pulling shit out of her ass.
Right.
Yeah.
So she could be like an Iron Man type or like a
Right.
Batman type almost. You know.
Yeah.
I can also see her having some sort of where her best offense is a good defense because she's all about the protective charms
That's
and
true.
spells.
Or she'd be
and
like
all-
force fields. And
force
stuff.
fields. Yeah,
yeah.
that
She's
kind of
invisible
thing.
woman
Kind
kind
of
of
visible
powers.
mini thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
That'd be
And
good.
then I think
Defensive, yeah.
if anyone were going to be a tank, it would honestly be Ginny.
It should be Ginny.
Yeah.
Ginny should
Yeah.
be like the offensive powers.
She looks like the
punch.
small,
like
really
flying and
small-
punching and
Yeah.
being like the Superman powers, the flying brick powers.
Yeah.
Like if you guys remember Gen 13,
Yeah.
the comic, like
Right.
Fairchild.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
that would be Jean.
Yeah.
Jean.
Yeah.
I can see that. And their team name?
Trinity. No.
A
No
little
joke.
close to a certain podcast we're
Kind of like
It's true.
True.
3 is the magic number.
The hot super bitches.
Wow, that's the vast majority.
Hogwarts 3. Whew, okay, so that was a lot of Harry Potter.
That was a long one.
That was a lot.
Well, to be fair, that does justice to the long ass fucking books that they are.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I
think
agree.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, if you like Harry Potter, you like a lot of Harry Potter.
If you dislike Harry Potter,
Screw you.
episode.
just skip this one.
Look at this one.
Skip
Or
it.
as she
skipper.
said, screw it.
Listen to Nerdist or Smodcast.
Yeah.
Like they will fulfill something that you're
They'll take
not
care
Well,
of
this
there's
week.
no. I mean, you can have a Harry Potter episode under.
But you're gonna miss out on the whittling of wands.
The wand whittling.
Ooh, yeah. I do it all the time.
You're a
still.
regular Ollivander, Nate.
I am.
Oh, that's
some-
putting a perverted spin on a
some
nice
dragon-
old man
dragons-
character.
sweet old
On a sweet old man.
8 references. Gina, thank
Yes.
you.
Gina.
Wow.
Oh, Gina.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you for having me on. It was really fun.
No problem.
fun.
It was
Thank
fun.
you for being our first female co-host.
Yeah.
Guest host.
We should do other things where I could be on. I liked it. It was nice.
Sure, we'll do a
Buffy
Twilight
one?
one. We'll do a
Buffy.
Twilight one.
Buffy.
Buffy
Twilight.
one. We should
Buffy,
actually do a
no,
Buffy one. That's
fuck
sad
yeah.
that we have.
Hunger Games one.
We almost are almost
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Hunger Game when the movie comes out.
Yeah.
The movie comes out. I
I'm
haven't read any of it
I'm
yet.
gonna plan to read Hunger Games.
We've got the first one here.
We have Hunger Games. It's right up there.
Well, let me return other shit.
That's right. Every time
also
you
have-
come here, we give you shit.
We also have all the Harry Potters.
That's true.
That's true.
That's nice. It's true.
So there we go.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank you,
really
fiance.
awesome.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, and just in the long run, thank you, letting us come here and
This is true.
babble and talk and bitch and moan.
At your abode.
Your abode.
Not a
Taking
Taking
problem.
up your office time, not allowing you to use your office. Hey, she's made us plenty of food and drink stuff.
This is
that
very true.
She's a
Very
pretty
nice.
awesome lady.
I'm all about the food and drinks.
Yeah.
And we are too.
Oh, man.
So I think that's been episode 9.
Episode
9 and
9.
3 quarters
9 and 3
That's a big
quarters.
quarters.
of Order the Triad.
Awesome. Okay, so as always, I'm Nathan.
Or
Well, we didn't.
Yeah.
I'm Nathan. But for this episode, I am Nathaniel Schulzenberger.
yes, I'm Justin. Oh, for this episode, Jason Quizzle.
And I'm Bobbin Johnsworth.
And we are
The Order of the Triad.
3.
2.
1.
Expecto Patronum.
We sneak to the tree, Peter presses the knot, and the whopping willow is suddenly behind us. The shrieking shack is just ahead, and we're off the Hogwarts grounds where adventure can find us. I solemnly swear I am up to no good. Boyhood games and nothing but fun. We're the very best of friends, we are. Nothing can separate the four of us. Moody, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prawns.
Hello, I'm podcasting now.
Hello, everyone, and this is.
Hi.
We have a special thank you to all the Twitter followers. We tweeted out especially, hey, if you want to get mentioned in this new episode, follow us. And 5 of you did.
Yay!
Thank you. So we'll
Thank
go.
you so
we'll go
much.
to each one. And first off is that darn cat, Sammy. Nate.
Hi, Sam.
Who's Sammy?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. No,
Ouch!
Sam,
And
don't
then
be-
what's 20 now?
Making enemies. Chocolate.
And she's gone.
Oh, my jokes are just too mean. That is Samantha. She is awesome person.
Where'd you meet her?
We met. Basically, me and Just met her in college.
Mhm.
She is a manga artist, aspiring manga artist.
Yeah.
Nice.
So look for her stuff. I think right now she's got Piper's Promise and Piper's Revenge.
Nice.
I have to look up the name.
And then the death of the Piper.
And then the
Man.
Piper. And the Piper strikes
The
again.
fall of the Piper.
She's really good.
She's really good.
Check her out on DeviantArt. Check her
And you
Twitter
should
out.
really check out her stuff. She's a really great person.
Next up, Fuckamush.
Oh, and it was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Next up, Fuckamush.
Fuckamush.
Hi.
It's a
Fuckamush.
very, it's a geek
it's a-
community that is
yeah.
now helping each other
I-
aspire for more
we honestly-
creativeness.
I hope that's right.
We're not quite certain at this point.
but to you people at Fuckamush,
Thank you.
thank you and good luck on your scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
on the
in New
6th.
York,
In New
which
York.
we're not at,
Yeah,
so
so-
you've
No.
already failed in bringing
Appreciate
us
that.
We're not
into
even
that.
close.
We're not
We're
even
very
close.
annoyed at that.
So I guess we'll just see other people win all those amazing
Yeah,
prizes.
we'll just
you guys
stand there,
set
just
up.
I think
angry.
it's time to see other people.
That's
That's what I'm saying.
is what.
Sorry, I need to take
to
a break.
tweet other people.
Thank you, Fuckamush. Is it Fukamush or you can correct?
I
me
think it's
later.
fuck you mush.
Fuck you, mush.
I think yeah, fuck you mush kind of works pretty good.
Yeah.
Depends on your mood.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
true.
so.
That's true.
Next up is Denise said what?
She said what?
She did say what? Her
Oh,
name is
dang.
Denise. Hi, Denise.
Hi Denise.
She works at Comics Unlimited. She's really cool.
Oh, I met her.
You met her,
She
that's
gave me an LA Noir
Yes.
journal thing.
That's
That
right.
was totally rad. Because I'm totally gay for Cole Phelps.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
No.
It's pretty awkward. It was there was some. We had to ask him to leave the store for.
When I see a fedora, I'm instantly hard. Yeah.
That's why
So
I wear a
thanks,
fedora all the
Denise.
time.
So thank you, Denise, for that.
Well, now that Denise knows that, she's gonna be a
We have
lot
19
more
followers on Twitter now.
uncomfortable.
12,
Damn it.
13,
14.
11,
Damn
24, 10, 1. It's just me. How did I? You guys left.
We're out of it.
I
We're
can't
done.
stand our humor. It's too offensive.
Tired of your shit.
Oh, God. Next up, T-Money, 1138. Taylor.
T-Money.
This is actually your second time being mentioned in the podcast. We mentioned you in the Comic-Con last episode.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Right on, dude. Thanks for
You were
following.
officially the first person to get mentioned twice, man.
Yeah.
Not
Hey, if
bad.
you get the hat trick, maybe
Oh.
we'll send you a prize or something.
Okay, so
Whoa.
you have to show up. There
Yeah.
you go.
We can't talk about it.
Well, you're in New York, so whatever. So I guess.
Whatever.
Not
See
a
how that
problem.
works. Next up, Mr. Patrick Cakes.
Patrick.
Patrick.
He is a
Cakes.
geek. He is a geek, a fellow geek.
He's a geek. Yes.
And we
How do you know
went to
him?
Comic Con.
Oh.
I know him because he is. Denise said what? Boyfriend.
That's
actually.
right.
That's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
So
Her gentleman
just
caller.
Yeah.
our group of community and friends and family are mostly very incestuous and very close, and
That's
we
true.
really don't have like a huge following yet. But hopefully we can incestualize the rest of the world,
Right.
and make us all part of one.
That should
big-
be on a poster.
Incestualize the rest of the world.
Incestualizing the world.
Okay,
Order of the
hashtag
triad.
that.
Order of the triad.
Hashtag
Hashtag
incestualize
incestualize
the
the
world.
And that'll be the movement right there.
It's like We Are the World, but
But-
more about banging your cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a lot about being
I hope
that
not.
creepy.
Is that really? That's what you took out of that?
that's what I got from it.
That's what Bobby got out of it. So hopefully,
I think we
so
all
on
got
that note,
that.
was bang your cousin and.
Okay, so
That's what
is it
we're
going to be
endorsing?
hashtag bang your cousin or hashtag incestualize the world? But it feels how if you're feeling classy or straight to the point.
And Twitter deleted our account. So
Yay!
Wow!
Hey.
Yay!
All right, so thank you, people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Twitter. You are nice to us, and we are thankful.